What's going on, everybody? You tripped me out when you were like off air. I was like, what? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Clicks Joysticks, episode 10, the E3 predictions of show. We're finally here to give our predictions on E3. Here with my boy Eurostrix. Say what's up to the people, sir.
What's going on?
What have you been up to with the games, by the way?
Trying not to die of sickness.
Yeah, I'm glad. I heard in the last stream that you were feeling better. So congratulations. Glad to hear that. But, you know.
I haven't done much gaming, though. Just Destiny stuff, which...
Yeah, I was in there on that stream where you were doing the Destiny talk after the big reveal.
Which I saw all over the place. I could talk forever about that.
Really brief before we get into the E3 stuff, because the E3 stuff is going to probably take up the lion's share of.
It's going to be Destiny's also going to be there, so yeah.
Yeah,
we'll get a chance to actually talk about it.
Right, but what were your thoughts on what they are doing?
From a getting into the game perspective, it seems to be very much like Taken King. So it seems like they're listening. The new game mode, Gambit, looks dope. What I'm most excited for, though, is the fact that Black, we've had this conversation. We have a raid area that is going to change as the weeks go by. Give me wings. I have been asking for wings on a raid since fucking Destiny 1. And then the stuff for the annual pass, which is probably the most controversial stuff, that and the price of the DLC.
Well, the DLC is only 40, right?
Yes.
So is Taken King. What are you talking about?
The controversial stuff is probably the price, but the annual pass, which is essentially they're moving away from like the general DLC strategy and making more of a season pass where it's 3 expansions over the next year. So winter 2018, spring 2018, and summer 2018, or spring 2019, summer 2019, and then whatever is coming in fall, which a lot of people will assume is Destiny 3. But more content, and one of the things on there seems to be in-game activities. I'm an in-game player. I enjoy it. I'm having fun. Fuck Escalation Protocol. That's a completely side thing about what's going on right now. And yeah, it looks good. I'm excited. A lot of people I know are actually excited by this update, and it's the update that I would tell anybody if you didn't like Destiny, it's still going to be Destiny gameplay wise. But if you wanted more content and like more difficult and more stuff content, more to do, this is the update stuff you can check out. Don't pre-order it. Either come to my stream the day it comes out or just watch the Bungie reveals over the summer. Wait till the day before to pre-order it. If you haven't bought Destiny, there's going to be some type of a pack, just like with Taken King. So yeah, it's good. I'm happy with it.
That's good. Well, I'm fine with that. I was fine with Destiny 2 the way it was. I'm kind of mad, though, at people because, again, Destiny 2 was all the things that all these people asked for. They got it, and it was okay.
But nobody
didn't want that.
But nobody wants a non-broken game.
Yeah, and they needed to have it broke. So now we're back to it being difficult, which I've heard there's been a lot of people complaining about the difficulty in acquiring gear now. Like, what is it that people are trying to get? What is it, the Catalyst or whatever? It's called.
Which Catalyst? I mean, it's currently Faction Rally Week, and you got to get 1,000 tokens. And like some stuff is cool. Like the Faction Rally changes are cool.
Yeah, but people are bitching now because it's like it's too hard. Everybody I know got it and I don't have it. Why? Well, before we was like, everybody got shit dropped like candy, and then you were mad at that. So what you want?
Escalation. I think that's two different parts of the community speaking. Like there's a lot of people.
No, I've heard other things with like some of the newer exotics and some of the stuff.
You know, Escalation Protocol is just stupid. I spent probably 4 hours today trying to get people together for Escalation Protocol, and it just does not work. But they haven't added matchmaking. They did make it slightly easier, but God, is it?
Yeah, but no, I hear like just in the base, like normal, mundane things that you have to do, the original Destiny type things you have to do. People are complaining.
I don't get that because the game is still relatively easy.
But it's not as easy as before, and they're not able to jump to their power as fast as before. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, as somebody that played the DLC since launch day, I am almost at max light level, and will definitely probably be at it by next week. And that's without having done every single, like only finishing. I've done the activities. I haven't even done the new raid yet. If you're playing solo, yes, it still sucks, but that's always been the case with Destiny. So where you have to use LFG to really, if you're about grinding, that's a whole different conversation.
well, and that's the thing. We're going to get back to the point where we were in the original Destiny, where people were mad because they couldn't get a certain role, and that's the thing. They're bringing back roles. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew how they cried and bitched about roles. They couldn't get that perfect roll on that gun that they wanted.
Well,
and then all of a sudden, well, that's because it's broken. If you shouldn't have let these guns have these perks, it's broken.
I think that's what it's
back to that
I think it's going to be back to that. No, it's not. It's going to be not as bad. I'm assuming what they said is like, if I had to guess how you make this a better system is you give certain guns certain perks, all of which are viable, but it's a smaller pool for each type of gun. So therefore it's easier to get the role you wanted, but you also have some type of some reason to keep getting guns until you find the one that you want. But that's again, we'll hear more about that going down the the random role system has its good and its bad. It seems like with this, they're trying to find something between Destiny 2 and Destiny 1, which I think will be the sweet spot.
I'm just waiting for them to all blow up and cry. That's all.
They're not going to.
That's the only thing.
For all the vocal people, there's more people that are just like me who are just like, the game is fine this way, and if you decide to change it, cool. And if you don't decide to change it, cool. Just don't give me anything like Curse of Osiris and I'll be fine.
But what if they do?
Yeah, they would actually like kill the game. Like 100 black. Like, I don't normally say it, but Curse of Osiris, legit, in my opinion, is the worst piece of DLC they put out for Destiny 1 or 2. There's not been a worse piece of DLC than
Curse. You want to know something funny? I've yet to play it.
Yeah, it's in my opinion.
I'm correct in not rushing to play it.
This brings back a lot of the stuff I like about Destiny. There's a grind. We could do an entire thing on Destiny 2, which I feel like we should do a completely different show if we're going to do that. Because to get into all the Destiny stuff, I mean, you know this. There's so many different things you can go into for Destiny.
Keep talking. I have a phone call.
Okay. So, everybody, how are you doing? We're going to talk about Destiny because Black has to walk away. If you don't like Destiny, I'm sorry. If you do like Destiny, well...
no, I'm still going to be around. I'm just going to be cursing at somebody who's...
Okay, yeah, you're fine. So, Destiny. Destiny's newest reveal, if you haven't seen it, they are bringing out 2 new areas, a new game mode, new weapon type being bows, which seem to be pretty powerful. 9 new supers in total, or should I say 9 new subclasses? 9 new subclasses.
Hey, hold on, Chris. 1 second. Miss Lady, can you hear me?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Is that SB?
No, that's Katina.
Oh, hello.
Katina, say hi to Chris. Chris, Katina.
Hello.
Hi, Chris.
We are recording something that you haven't done in weeks, ma'am.
The lies you tell, you little bastard.
Yeah, that's why I'm exposing you on the podcast now.
You know what? You ain't shit. I've always said this. But that's fine. Okay, fine. Okay, you want to expose what's up? What the hell are y'all talking about? Probably a bunch of nothing, but
We're talking about video games. It's not a bunch of nothing.
Okay. Oh, video games. Some shit that kids are supposed to play. Okay.
Okay, see, that's
Excuse you. Don't you play video games too?
No.
I'm sure you're in there with your Wii or Wii U. You probably still have a Wii.
I do not. I do not. Next.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. I will call you back when I'm done. Now that you want to call somebody. Damn it.
Sir, I will be unavailable shortly. So.
Oh, you're going to play doctor. I see. All right.
Going to see a man about a dog.
Oh, okay. I'm sure they're one and the same. Anyway, talk to you later.
You ain't shit. Bye.
Bye. Sorry for the interruption, people, but you guys who have watched the podcast know Katina, so it's fine. Continue on, sir.
So, yeah, Destiny 2. Destiny 2, the new DLC. The controversial thing for those that are out there is $40 for the DLC. And then for the actual content to follow it for the year, there's still going to be seasonal updates. There's still going to be free content for people to play. But for extra content, kind of like what the previous expansion pass was and historically have been, there's going to be an annual pass now is what they're calling it, with 3 updates, which I already talked about. And that's going to be another $30. You can also get some pre-order bonuses and some extra stuff for $80. Those are all currently options for people that own the game and all the DLC. Bungie has said that you will need all of the DLC. But they have also said and come out that you will be able to buy everything in one package if you have not already gotten it.
Yeah, they're going to do like they did the last time. I mean,
yeah, but overall, it looks really good. If you are interested in Destiny in any capacity. Now, even I think back when Destiny 1 was coming out or Destiny 2 was coming out, I made the point that if you were unsure, it might be better to wait until around this time. I think I made that statement to somebody. I said, like, I was excited for Destiny 2, but if you're unsure, wait until around like September of the following year, because that's when Taken King came out before. And usually if stuff's bad, that's usually when the game gets better and fixed.
Yeah, I mean, again, I was fine with Destiny 2 in this incarnation. Of course, there were some things that I didn't like as much as I liked from Destiny 1, but change didn't bother me. Shooting mechanics was still good. I liked that there was more to do. It was solid, but people screamed because it was easy to get gear. Well, y'all screamed about it being hard. Okay, so fine. It's gonna be a little about in-game purchases. You told Bungie in Destiny 1 that you would pay for anything as long as you keep you in content. Okay, fine. It's just like,
but I really do think it's different people. I don't think it's all of this, because a lot of the times when you get into the arguments, there's still the part of the community that's like, hey, this is a reasonable price. Hey, this is nothing different. Hey, what they're actually doing is like $10 cheaper than what they did with Taken King. It's actually cheaper for the entire, like, the game plus the year. So people are like just yelling to yell. And I just would say, hey, chill out. Wait and see. If you don't want it, like I said, you don't have to pre-order the game. If you would like my hot take on the fact, if you are mad about the price of it, all you're saying is, I want to like Destiny, but I don't want to spend money to do so. So pick your side of the fence. You either don't like Destiny and don't want to play it, or you like Destiny and you want to play it. Me, I've already put 100, 200 hours into this game. 100 hours at least. I don't have a problem spending $80 more.
Yeah, again, you know my whole thing. If you enjoy a game and you want to spend the money on the game that you enjoy, fucking do it. That's all. If you don't, fucking don't spend the money.
And if you feel like it should be free, next time, let me know what your job is. I'm going to come in and you can do your job for free.
And fuck yeah, like, please. And I hope you're a mechanic, because I would sure love to get some car work right now for free.
Just anybody out there. It's it still costs money to make a thing, and people like that's one of those things that in times of game development I don't get. It's like when people are like, "Yo, why is this?" Also, beyond this, if you're mad about the pricing, do not be mad at Bungie. They are not the publisher. They do not define how much stuff costs.
Well,
that is Activision. That is all on Activision. Bungie just makes the shit. So
you talking common sense. I don't know why, sir. So I'm gonna need you to stop being a sensible.
No, like that's what gets me mad when I see people yelling at Bungie. I'm like, they just made the stuff you enjoy. They're not the people charging you for it. That's like, I don't know how would I phrase this. That's like yelling at, I don't know, something stupid, like yelling at the sporting arena that the game that was played was bad. Like, be mad at the people that are actually responsible for what you're either paying for or like what you're receiving. If you don't like the gameplay, sure, yell at Bungie. But if you don't like the price, go yell at Activision. Fun fact: Activision is not going to listen to you because enough people will buy it.
Yeah, I mean, also one last thing I want to say on this before we move on is that everybody knows the reason why nobody likes, quote unquote, I should say in quotations, Destiny 2. Because streamers figured out that they were being exposed because they're not as good at the game as they were once they balanced things out. And all of a sudden you couldn't just get that god roll to go along with whatever skill you thought you had to manipulate and abuse and to make people think that you're a wondrous person in the game. And once everybody was leveled out, there was no god tier of players really anymore, except for those who stuck through it and got better at the new thing.
Destiny isn't a competitive, like doesn't have
But no, the competitive side, most of the people railed on that, the whole how they changed the Crucible. And also with the PvE, you can make that argument too, because again, these are people who play for hours and hours and hours. I didn't have to play Destiny 2 for all of those hours like I did Destiny 1 to get some of the stuff that they got. And that pissed them off.
Welcome to MMOs. You have one of two options. Be slower, take time, or if you want to be first, then your reward is being first.
And that's the thing. They can invest all the time they can in the world because that's what they do for a living. So they had these prestige of being in a higher
I disagree.
I honestly think it because the loudest voices, of course, were probably the main people who would champion Destiny.
But I think by like equal standards, the game there are some problems with the game.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there wasn't any problems, but I think that is where it leveled off. It wasn't just the problems because let's be honest. Destiny in itself had many problems, even leading towards its end. It still had a lot of problems, but the game at its core was still the same enjoyable experience.
And the one thing out there that I would also warn people about with the new expansions, Bungie has stated that they are moving away from cinematic storytelling. They want to do it in game, in like in-game events and in gameplay, which I think is reasonable because. Again, y'all complained that there wasn't enough story, and then y'all said that the story in Destiny 2 is just blah. So that's a lot of money they don't have to waste. But me and Black are here for a reason, but Destiny is just part of that because next week, or this coming weekend, in fact, E3 2018 will kick off with Destiny being shown, and you can talk about some more stuff with Destiny that's still under NDA. But I guess what we're here for is to talk about E3 as a whole. I tried to segue. I think I said too many words.
Okay, so my headphones are acting extremely horrible, so we're going to have to do this the old way, where I have to listen through the speakers.
Okay.
Jeez.
Oh, Lord.
I have to replace my...
kind of bassy.
Yeah, I know. So you guys, he might reverb a little.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about E3. I realize now. We're gonna talk about E3, the various leaks, as well as I guess conferences and expectations.
Yeah, definitely want to talk about that. All right, say something.
Yo.
Okay, yeah, I
There
had
you
to
go.
fucking Turtle Beach. Your damn split cord is messing up, so I
All
have
right.
to be really close to my computer and not move around like I used to because I don't have the length anymore. Bastards. Anyway,
All right.
continue.
So I think we'll just start from the top and go straight down the board. Well, I guess there's another question we should ask. Are we doing nightly, or are we doing a roundup at the end? Are we doing daily televised commenting on the stream? What's the plan of coverage for us?
Okay, so this is my working plan because this E3 is going to be even more unique than before, as like it seems like Saturday and Sunday are now mandatory dates for stuff to happen.
And for those that don't know days, don't worry, we will talk about that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure to send you the schedule that I posted earlier, just so
I have a list of stuff up.
Yeah.
So I can scroll through.
Okay. Yeah, because you're gonna have EA is going to be on Saturday. They're going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. British Standard Time.
I wonder why they call it British Standard Time. Well, I guess you can't use EST.
Then after that, on the 9th as well, I don't believe there's anybody else, correct?
No, it's just EA at 2 p.m. So that's a pretty light day.
Then on the 10th, that's where things start to heat up and we get into the full-on, whatever the word is, conferencing. There's a few different conferences. I'm trying to figure out which one is the first one. Is it? Hold on, let me look at this picture. The picture should be easier to read. Next up would be Microsoft at 1 p.m. on Sunday, I guess that is. 1 p.m. Pacific on Sunday.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. British Standard Time.
Then Bethesda at 6:30. So here's what we'll do. We'll give all the times in Pacific Standard Time or Pacific daytime time. What daytime?
Oh no, I think we should just at least do both in Eastern and East and West.
Well, I only said it because, like, if you live on the West Coast, add 3 hours for East, and or subtract 3 hours from East. Like I'm saying, like that way, anytime you hear, you can just do the same math to figure out.
Yeah, so just do the Eastern time then.
All right, so we're on the East Coast, so we'll go with that. So subtract. If you are subtract, what the fuck?
You know what time zone you're in. Yeah. You know how to do the math. Okay.
So Eastern Standard Time, because we're both in Eastern Standard Time.
And we'll have the link in the description.
Yes, EA is at 2 p.m. On Friday. No, Saturday. I don't know days of the week. Microsoft will be on Sunday at 4 p.m. Then 9:30 p.m. will be Bethesda. So you only have 2 on that day. Luckily, that's still another quiet day, but 3 across the weekend. Monday morning is still pretty much E3 prime time, where we have Square-Enix at 1, Ubisoft at 4, the PC gaming show at 6 p.m. All of these are in the afternoon. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sony will go on. And then on that Tuesday, as has been the tradition for the last few years, Nintendo will do a Nintendo Direct at around noon Eastern Standard Time.
I'm almost tempted to see if I can get off early to see that too.
So overall, like if you're looking for the big 3, you're talking 1 per day. So 4 p.m. Sunday, 9 p.m. Monday, and then noon Tuesday. If you want all of them, just the latest one is going to be Sony per the usual, and they'll probably run till about 11 o'clock Eastern Time.
Technically, Sony's not the latest though.
What do you mean?
You forgot Devolver.
I always forget that Devolver is.
Yes, at 11 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, June 10th, Devolver will do some batshit insane.
Devolver doesn't have a conference so much as like a parody.
It's a mockumentary, if at best.
So yeah, let's we'll just start from the top. So EA. For those that don't know about EA and what they've been tweeting out a decent amount as to what's going to be shown at their conference this year. They've always added the and more side of things. I'm pulling up their Twitter right now. So, but the things that they have definitely specified are going to be there. They seem to very much be leading with Anthem, kind of as their headliner, which, again, as a Destiny fan, I'm pretty happy about. They have Battlefield 5 also listed. EA Sports is also on here. So expect FIFA, expect something on NBA Live for the coming year. But overall, those are like the three headlines, like in the YouTube video. The link for that, I guess, Black, you might toss in there if you don't already have it. They already have the like page set up for that. But then if you are in the Los Angeles area, EA Play is a thing. Head on out
really
there.
quick, if you want to follow along while you're listening, just go to pcgamer.com.
Are you looking at the same
in case you don't see the schedule that's in the description. That's where I'm going to post the link from. But yeah.
Okay. But yeah, Electronic Arts has a bunch of stuff. Madden's going to be there as well. Right now, going based off of their Twitter, Anthem is going to have a huge presence there. Battlefield 5 is also going to probably have some type of a big presence, in FIFA. I think they're going to be their big three. I do think they're going to have some surprises. Namely, I think they will actually show off a Star Wars game, and I don't think it's going to be Battlefront. They need some way so Disney doesn't just snatch the IP away from them. What do you think? I'm trying to think, what else does EA have that I haven't thought of?
Let's see, Battlefield 5, Anthem.
Let me go look at that fake list of things.
Possibility of a Dragon Age, maybe. I would think
a new Dragon Age, that would be dope to see a new Dragon Age drop.
Yeah, I mean, I won't expect any Mass Effect news. I think they're going to try to put as much distance between Andromeda and the next Mass Effect as possible, in which I find kind of weird. I didn't think Andromeda was horrible. I didn't think it was a bad game, period.
It wasn't what people wanted. And that's the important part.
And I know, but and I thought the facial things and all that was really overblown. Like, good Lord, people just were looking for.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Surprise! They have some indie games. They always show off some type of indie games.
Yeah, who's gonna come and be that endearing?
The one that's completely shitting their pants because they're on E3 stage.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a game that everybody's not watching.
Yeah, it's gonna be that like sacrifice they're gonna throw up there on the altar. No, because it's like the last couple of games, except for I will say this. What's his name? Probably should have. I don't think he was there last year, was he? The guy who made A Way Out. Was it him last year? Or was
you're thinking of this of the game show.
Yeah, that was a game show. But
he was incredible.
But no, he should have been. They should have held that game long enough just to have him do this.
Yeah,
because he would have livened that shit up. The EA would have been like, "Oh, we're gonna have to take. We're gonna have to pay like FCC a lot of money on this."
Oof, is all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna leave it with a.
Oh my god, he's a national treasure, that man.
But what are you most excited for coming out of EA?
I just want to see what the fuck Anthem is. I mean, I know what Battlefield 5 is. I'm a Battlefield fan. I'm probably gonna get it, so you don't have to necessarily sell me on that. Although they did sell me during their preview when they talked about the war story thing. I thought that was a really clever thing to do. But no, Anthem is it for EA, because beyond a Star Wars game, I don't see anything else grand that they're gonna do.
You don't want Drake back on stage?
We're gonna
finally confront Pusha T.
I would love for Drake to get on stage and like somebody just be yelling, "Pusha T beat the shit out of you," even though he didn't beat the shit out of you.
That's a different podcast.
That's a different podcast.
That's a different podcast.
I can go an hour.
I know you and I both have my opinion of how the internet reacted and my opinion of what Pusha T did.
Yeah,
those are two very different conversations.
And that'll interrupt the gaming flow. So sorry.
So, but no, it's always that joke because they had Drake on. Like that will always be my joke. Just like Aisha Tyler and Jason Derulo dancing. Like it's one of those things that just has to be a joke at some point. I agree. I think Anthem is what everybody is looking at because everybody saw it when Destiny like as like, okay, this is something that's going to compete with Destiny. And honestly, The Division was one of those things that took a long time to catch on. And to those that are interested in it, I think what's been proven with a lot of these looter shooter online MMO light games, please wait to buy them. Don't buy them at launch if you're unsure. If you don't know if you like this genre of game, chill. Because The Division is another one of those games that a lot of people realize, hey, after all this DLC came out, the game's a lot better. At launch, it was kind of, but again, I'm probably most excited for Anthem too. As somebody that likes those games that have been coming, I think EA will be able to create something decent.
Yeah. I mean, they've rubbed me wrong with some of the way that they promoted it. Like, one, I still hate the name. Sorry. Freelancers. I don't like that name.
That's all right.
I don't like that name.
Why?
Why
do you hate us, Black?
Because it's not representative. I don't think it'll end up being representative of what you're going to be doing.
I feel like freelancer works better than mercenary.
I don't think it should be mercenary either. I think they will be both awful because it just makes me think that, okay, you guys are just in this for the money and you're not necessarily protecting us because
we don't know the story yet, so it might be true.
Like, yeah, they're gonna have to do some really good lore behind why they're called freelancers. It's gonna have to be really spot on for me to accept that, because I just feel like you're just saying, well, you could. I just feel like it's setting it up for more GTA type experience, where you could stick to the script sort of and do what you need to do to help whatever realm you're in or what have you, or you can just be a total dick because you're a freelancer and you get paid for what you do. So you want to go rogue and fuck shit up, just go rogue and fuck shit up.
True.
And I hope that they don't do that. That's my worry with that name. I don't need that. That's not what it should be. But that's for me, So that's why I'm really anticipating, because I need to know exactly what type of game am I getting.
Yeah.
Before I even think of investing. I don't care how cool.
I mean, that's the issue. Look, companies just market to me. Help me become a millionaire, and I'll be the best whale that you ever had.
I don't need them to market to me. I just need them to make a game that I could I'd want to try. Let's just put it that way.
I want to know what their story is about well enough that I'm good.
Yeah, that would help too if it's got a strong foundation for it.
But there's a wall, and that's what's important.
Yeah, and you go beyond the wall, which I've done many times on strikes. But
another thing you and I have talked about pretty decently as well is Star Wars. So do you think, so again, there have been a lot of rumors from the Star Wars bounty hunter-ish game by Visceral to everything else, such as like maybe Battlefront, an update.
I'm sure there's going to be something updating Battlefront, because although they just recently dropped something, but I'm sure something else is coming. They just dropped the Solo update with the Solo skins and the environments from the movie.
So do you think which one do you think they're going to touch on? I don't think EA wants Battlefront associated with their name as much anymore.
No, and I think that's why they went ahead and announced the Solo stuff just on the internet the other day.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that it came out if you didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, it was literally like 2 days ago, maybe. They did a whole small trailer blurb, and they had a couple of promoted tweets about it. That was it.
And before anybody gets mad, they have removed all the loot box stuff from.
Yeah, but of course, people still hate it. So yeah. It is what it is. I don't own the game, but what I played of it was cool. It's Battlefront.
I'm happy.
Yeah, Whatever. The noise around that just killed that game completely.
It's one of the few times that I think like I'm one that's can be hit or miss when it comes to loot boxes, but Battlefront was pretty bad.
Well, no, they were gross. They were definitely gross.
I just didn't expect people to freak out as much as they did on that specifically because they.
Yeah, I still thought it was an overreaction.
Like EA, I'm sorry that you were the people to find the line.
I'm not surprised that EA is though. I mean, to me, EA should have I don't know why people didn't realize that EA drew that line in the sand all these years with stuff like Madden and FIFA.
Oh yeah,
and so it's like did you not think that they would get it in their heads that if this is successful on this genre, it could be successful anywhere else?
It's not that. It's that like. I guess what I would agree with you on is that if you pay attention to Madden and all their sports games, they have kind of incrementally been getting worse. Like trying to be more and more exploitative. I think that's how you say that. I don't know. But I don't know. I felt like somebody else was going to try to do something big and risky. I didn't think EA would. Like what they did with Battlefront is not something you do with Battlefront. You don't do that with a franchise as big as Star Wars. They kind of tried to throw everything at the wall because you're trying to basically take the biggest franchise you own. And to anybody out there that would disagree with me, people that don't play video games played Star Wars Battlefront because it's Star Wars. You tried to take that and monetize that in the worst way possible or best way possible. Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. They made mistakes. Mistakes were made. Okay.
And they paid for it.
But it made sense to when you thought about it because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars, people bought the first Battlefront simply because it was Star Wars.
And it was a better game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think EA this year is going to have a much more low-key conference than they normally do.
I don't know about that because remember, the Battlefield 5 stuff is going to be them having celebrities and content creators playing it live against each other. Like
it's gonna be low key. So it's not gonna be as ridiculous as this has been.
Who's the FIFA person this year then?
What celebrity?
That's the thing. It's like I don't feel like EA can ever be totally low key because they're gonna have to have those moments. They're gonna have to come up with another hoop god.
As long as it's not Pele, I'm good. I don't care who it is.
No, you know who I actually think it is going to be? Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You probably don't know that name, but he's one of the highest players right now. He's known mostly for being brash as shit, but he's a Swedish soccer player, and I probably butchered his last name. So forgive me if you watch soccer and you're into Zlatan. But if you've watched soccer, you know who Zlatan is. He's like a larger-than-life personality in the game. So I see them bringing him on there. So because he can liven things up, he would be like Ferris from A Way Out.
See, I don't think you. But even if it's just for laughs, even if it's just, I don't think you risk that.
Yeah, because he's a pretty off the chain dude. I mean, he's cool, but he's brash, cocky as shit. Like, but he's good at what he does. So fuck it.
So yeah, that's what I asked you, Black. So Anthem is what you're most excited for. What would be your surprise to make the conference?
Surprise to make the conference from EA. Fight Night.
Ooh, good choice.
Fight Night would be the Fight Night. They could like pretty much, own the day until own everything up until Microsoft pops off. If they do that, if they don't do that, then people would just be like, okay, it was cool. If they show some cool stuff at best, but if they announce the Fight Night, that would set the fucking internet afire.
That's a good choice.
It would really set the internet afire. What about you? What do you think would be your surprise?
My surprise that would straight up win me the conference for EA. I got to think about what EA has.
And that's the hard part. It's hard to think of what EA has that they don't already have out, and what they don't, and if it's something that you really, really want. Because I cannot think of anything.
Yeah,
beyond Fight Night and Dragon Age, to be quite honest.
I would love for them to be able to release, in the wake of something like Resident Evil 5, release Dead Space and bring it back to a like Dead Space 1 tone of being very horror centric. I think
that would be really cool. It would be another game I wouldn't play, but that would be cool.
I think it's something that would surprise people and like have a lot of fanfare. And then beyond that,
God, I just thought about what Dead Space would look like on a PS4 or Xbox One X, or on like a fucking NVIDIA 1080
like
Ti.
Right, so for those that are wondering out there, make the game really good, but also make it automatically compatible with VR. Because people that played Resident Evil 7 saw how well that was. A Dead Space game in VR.
Hell to the fucking
set to a horror tone.
Hell
100% out there tell you EA.
Hell.
Everybody will come back. Everybody would come back. And like as somebody that's not even that big in the horror, Resident Evil 7 made me want to get some type of VR just to see what the experience was like. Because everybody said it was one of the most terrifying things they'd ever done.
Hell to the fucking... You really don't want me to like play any horror genre games? That's what you do. You put a game like that in fucking VR, and I will never touch it in life.
I don't think we're getting another Mirror's Edge game anytime soon. Oh, you said. Oh wait, you know what? Actually, scratch that. Scratch that. Bring that back. What would steal the show for me for EA? 2 words, Black. Bad company.
Hey yo, if they can't do that,
and you have to like, I won't care. I'm like, yo, I'm all in. I'm all in.
If they did that, that would be such a swerve because you wouldn't expect that with Battlefield 5.
We're not getting a Titanfall 3 yet, so yeah, I'm gonna need a bad company.
That would be really good because DICE has enough studios to do that. I mean, DICE proper doesn't have to work on.
Imagine if like you're watching the Battlefield 5 stuff and it's getting to the end of it. And then they have the like Sarge from it, from Bad Company show up on one of the tanks, and like the art style transitions, and all of a sudden it's a Bad Company game, and you're like, "Oh, yes, I will take that." And then what they do is you release Battlefield, and then you release Bad Company to compete with Call of Duty the same day, and just leave it alone.
Yeah, that would be very, very good because that would mean that you have at least a year or two away from that. Or fuck it, if I'm them and I'm close enough, I'd release that shit in the early part of 2019.
Yep.
And then just like control that mid season. Like, yeah, damn. I didn't think about Bad Company. Bad Company would be kind of cool.
I think we're also like, there's a lot of things because I just really quickly Google imaged EA games. And like the things that are now popping in my head that could possibly be talked about, maybe a Garden Warfare 3. Do they? Who? What? Like, I know you like the Garden Warfare series, Black.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think it'll steal the show, but I think it's something that could pop up. But Bad Company, I think it falls into the category of. It falls into the category of like you said with oh my god, my mind's blanking. Fight Night. It's a game that basically everybody's been asking to come back, and it's pretty much been a generation since we got a full-fledged release.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would actually be good if they do both. Good lord, that would be even wilder. Although I will say this for the Bad Company thing, they haven't actually time to sit on that because. If Sony could somehow figure out how to get that onto the PlayStation experience at the end of the year, that would be fucking ridiculous for them. But,
I agree. 100% agree.
It's like, oh yeah, and here you go. But yeah, nah, damn. So yeah, those would definitely be the highlights of the day if EA were to do that. But we know they ain't gonna do that shit. So fuck you, EA. God damn it. Let's just see what Anthem's going to be and whether or not it's going to be worth my goddamn time as the quote unquote Destiny killer, as people label it.
If any, there's no such thing as a game killer, people.
Yeah, I know. Dude.
I don't care. Anthem could be the best fucking game ever made. I'm not going to just drop Destiny because Anthem exists.
Again, you're being sensible, sir. I need you to stop that. But all right, so let's move on to the next conference. Next conference in line at 4 p.m. Eastern, Microsoft on Sunday, June 10th. Mm-hmm. This is probably my most anticipated conference again, as it has been since the Xbox One was first announced. Because since the announcement of the Xbox One, Microsoft has been on this weird, strange trip to me. And I just find it fascinating to see how they've progressed along this. And yeah, they stumbled a lot. They've made up for some of the things. You don't know what to expect from them. And I honestly don't know what to expect from them. Now, they say that they will have an in-depth look at some previous announced things and then trailers for unannounced titles. What does that mean? Is that Microsoft titles? Is that third-party titles? Again, you never know because of what history has shown. Like last year when they made a big deal about something unannounced. No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before last. They made the whole big, it's something unannounced. And it ended up being Anthem.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's cool, but where's your shit?
So the more I look at it, because Crackdown 3 is not an option.
Well, by the way, for those who might not have known, the Kotaku, who seems to know every fucking thing, has put out a report today that there definitely are strong reasoning to believe. There's definitely strong reasoning to believe that Crackdown 3 will be delayed again until next year.
At this point, as somebody that's a fan of Crackdown, I would be worried. Any game that gets delayed past like a 2 to 3 year mark, unless it's completely
this was a game introduced at the launch of the system.
I'm saying at a 2 to 3 year mark, right? It's one thing if you say like, "Hey, we're building this for the Xbox," and then you're like, "Hey, we wanted to build this for the Xbox One X." It's like, all right, cool. You're building it for the Xbox One X now. This needs to come out early next year at the latest. It cannot be the end of next year, mid part of next year. I am already worried that this game is taking way too long to be developed and is probably passed into too many hands.
5 years. 5 years so far.
Way too long. You shouldn't have made that. This is why you don't make bold claims about the power of the cloud.
And I say 5 years tentatively because remember, most of these things are already in production a year or two before they're announced. Mm-hmm. So we could be looking at a legit Final Fantasy 15 thing. And
we're talking 7 to 10 years. Easy.
Yeah, if they can pull off what Square did with Final Fantasy 15, fine. But that's not necessarily likely to happen.
You're looking at more of a 2 Human or a Duke Nukem.
Yeah. And this was supposed to be the crowning piece of what the technology the Xbox One can do and all of that. Remember the cloud. It's all about the cloud. Cloud is everything.
I think
the cloud.
Yeah. I think there's a reason why you haven't heard much about the cloud anymore.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of rumors that we're getting both Gears and Halo. I don't care if they announce both. There's no reason they should release both of those games in the same year.
No, one needs to come out this year, one needs to come out next year.
It's always been my opinion that that's their alternating schedule. You do not put those two games out at the same time because they're your biggest franchises. Forza, people will always buy Forza if they're into it. Sea of Thieves have a really big DLC coming out for it, and you might be able to inspire some people to come back and check it out in a bit. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, I'm excited for. Anybody that's played Ori and the Blind Forest, I feel is like super excited for Ori, a new Ori game. But like when I look at the rest of their lineup, unless they are digging deep into some historic Microsoft stuff, like I can't see a game. If they revive Shardbound? what's the game called? The Dragon one.
Oh,
Scalebound.
Geez, Scalebound. I was like,
it was something bad.
Wow,
It started with
that
an S.
long ago they dumped that shit. Why did I forget it?
Because
that was the one
everybody
interesting
wanted-
thing that I wanted from Microsoft. That might have well, no, it wouldn't, because they fucked that up once they announced we're putting all our exclusives on PC. So they pretty much, the chance of me ever owning an Xbox One was killed with that.
I still say to people, like, if I'm being honest, that announcement is the reason why I am more interested in Microsoft's conference than Sony's.
Well, true, because as a PC gamer, you are now being afforded, actually, you can say PC exclusives now. Microsoft is the only constant PC exclusive company. Damn.
And the thing is, if somebody were to say like it's not exclusive, PC exclusive can legit straight up just mean like a Microsoft, because Microsoft owns the PC brand.
Yeah.
Microsoft, you don't hear about Microsoft ever being like it's coming to Mac and Linux. No, it's coming to Windows.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Microsoft, that is a Microsoft exclusive, basically.
Yeah, no, totally.
And I will only give them that legitimacy because they own the operating system that the game is going to be played on. You have to buy it from the Microsoft store. You cannot buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
On PC in general.
And you have to have an Xbox Live account to play with your friends.
I mean, that's a completely different conversation. I'm just happy I don't got to pay for it.
Yeah, no, that's again reasons why I won't get an Xbox One. I get the exact same experience now, including an Xbox Live account and the features, without having to pay shit.
All right, so same two questions, Black. What would be your surprise
if they announce anything that's not Fable, Forza, Gears, Halo, Crackdown?
And
that's a completely new IP. That would be my surprise.
Interesting, like major IP is basically
a complete AAA major IP that never has come, that's never been seen.
Does it need to be exclusive?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, they need to start looking into having more mascots for the platform.
I'm going to be nice and say one, even though me personally, I think they need to do 3.
I think they need to
move the meter for me.
They honestly, so going on that, Recore was a flop, so you still need an adventure game to really build the Microsoft brand off of. You have racing, you have shooters. Like I'm trying to you need some other games, a sci-fi game. I mean, you can take Gears and Halo. I'm trying to figure out.
They're shooters.
Yeah.
You have your shooter, you have your racing game. With Fable, you would have a legit fantasy adventure game. If Crackdown, you got your action adventure, but I need more. I mean, you can multiply. You don't need one of each. Sony doesn't. The reason
why Gears and Halo work is because you can alternate them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see that for Microsoft. I'm trying to remember what the other question I asked you was. My mind is really bad right now. Let's see, because you said that was your surprise to make the conference.
I guess the other question would be what I was looking forward to. Was that it? What am I looking forward to seeing? I don't know. And that's the problem with Microsoft. Like, I don't know, because I expect certain things. And it's funny because as I'm looking at what PC Gamer said, they say expect Crackdown 3, Halo, Gears, Forza, all the hits. I expect those, so I'm not necessarily looking forward to them because it's what I expect to get from Microsoft. Microsoft doesn't build up any, I wonder what they're going to do as the, wild card type of thing.
Microsoft isn't a one more thing type of a thing. They used to do that. I remember the year where the thing just went red and they announced Gears 2 a year after Gears 1 came out. And it was the hypest thing ever. A year or two after Gears 1 came out.
Yeah, I just don't. They would have to start off with a Ghost of Tsushima type thing, where it's what the fuck is this? I don't know what it is, but it looks cool. And then I realized, oh shit, it's something new. and they have to end on that note too. That's I guess the only thing I could say I'm looking forward to is when they announced that the price drop that they just said that was temporarily for the Xbox One X is a permanent one. Like
now, next question. Xbox One X Slim. Do you think it'll be a thing?
Not now, but eventually.
Not this year. So would you say next year?
I don't know. It'll be this year, but not now. I'd say give that game to Gamescom.
Oh,
because why fuck up the sale? You have a sale now.
Well, because they announced it and they say it's going to be permanent. Like that's how they make it permanent.
Yeah, they've announced it as a sale for E3. Then they say it's permanent. Then later on, you'll be like, oh wait, there's this.
I can see that.
And then they could jockey for whatever price because they'll probably try to jockey that as being $400, so they could say you can get a better system than the PlayStation 4 for the same price finally.
Yeah.
Even though it's kind of too late now for that.
Everybody already owns a PS4.
Everybody already owns a PS4, and if you don't own a PS4, you kind of have more reasons to because you can do that if you want in August, but Sony's meanwhile sitting there like, see the Spider-Man game we got coming in a couple of weeks? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh, which one you want to get?
that could be a way. That could, if Microsoft could land like a really good superhero game.
Yeah. Batman
exclusive game.
Yeah, that'll compete because right now Sony has them even there. Like they own the fucking Spider-Man license, and Marvel is willingly letting Sony do whatever they want with Spider-Man. So yeah.
God. Okay.
By the way, sequel to the Spider-Man game is going to be Spider-Verse game. Watch.
Man, that trailer for the Spider-Verse.
And that's why I wanted the Spider-Verse game. So I was like, yo, these people look like they got the swinging down in this game. I need to see Peter Parker, Miles, Gwen, all of them. All that. Give me all that in one game now. Ooh. That I know that we have a competent studio working on the Spider-Man franchise right now. So yeah. But anyway, Microsoft backwards compatibility and pricing are going to be their staples until here on out, until they decide whether or not they're going to go with another console or not.
I don't think we're not getting another console from Microsoft.
So you're with me now. You're with me now that this is the last Microsoft console.
I don't mean that. I mean like we're not getting.
No, when I say next console, I mean next generation console. I don't think there's even going to be a next generation.
Well, there's going to be a next generation console. There's going to be a next generation console. It's too enticing of a market to not have it.
Yeah, but it's not making them the money that they want. And again, a lot of people just forget that the guy running Microsoft now wanted to chuck it as soon as he.
I think that is the reasoning behind putting everything on PC.
Yeah, I've been saying that. That is their escape plan.
No, I don't mean escape. I mean like it's to bolster sales to make it look better so that they keep the brand.
No, that's their escape plan. Because Microsoft was a PC gaming company before, and they were popular in gaming. They'll keep the brand, but do they need the box?
Yeah.
I don't think they would.
If they're going to throw it away, then I would rather them do a Steam box thing.
Yeah, and I could see them do something like that. Like
where
they have Microsoft certified gaming PCs.
This is the new Xbox. It is a fully ready-to-go gaming PC.
Yeah, no, that would be the smarter move.
That will play every Microsoft title at the best possible settings or whatever.
That's the move I think that they should make. Go all PC and then connect with another manufacturer. You don't have to manufacture it yourself. Connect with a pretty well-known like Main Gear or something like that. Somebody well-known for making like really good PC gaming rigs, and have them have an Xbox line of gaming rigs that are like green and black, have the light for the button and things, like trim it out in the like Xbox, branding and all of that, and just have it be a super dope PC, which, hey, by the way, it's still a regular PC, so you can keep this and keep upgrading it without having, to trade in this killer case that you got to show how much you love the Xbox brand. And then you preload it with a couple of games that are Xbox exclusives. They can live. They don't need the Xbox. Microsoft as a company never has and never will need the Xbox as a machine itself to thrive, because they were one of the better PC gaming companies before there was a console. They could do it again.
Live now. Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't know. Microsoft, surprise us. I can't give you anything. Like, I guess Shardbound not being dead or Scalebound not being dead would be the biggest surprise to save the conference.
Yeah, that would be weird if they resurrected that.
I'm trying to think of some old Xbox. Siphon Field? No, that's PlayStation.
No, that's PlayStation.
Perfect Dark.
Project Gotham.
Perfect Dark, Project Gotham.
Yeah, it's like y'all bought Rare and y'all ain't making another Perfect Dark. Y'all got the studio that made it for Nintendo and for you. What are you doing? Anyway. Yeah. The Microsoft, I just want to see if they do something that will move me. That's it. Like, I don't have any expectations whatsoever. There's no anticipation. And it's sad that it's like that, but there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing that I'm sitting here burning over. So, yeah. So I guess we can move on. I guess that's it on the Microsoft half of things.
So I sent you a video in the chat to possibly get some hints. It's like a 15-second just teaser for the E3 showcase this year for Bethesda. Who's next?
Oh shit.
So it's all about what we see possibly on here.
Yeah, you basically just look at the characters they're showing and you see like.
So the speculation right now is Rage 2. We already know that's going to be there.
Yeah, we know that's
Fallout 76.
Yeah, which I still want to see exactly what it is. I want to see if the rumors are true, if it's just an online MMO.
Arcane is going to have a new project. Arcane did Dishonored, and I believe weren't the people behind Prey as well?
Yeah, Prey.
So they're right now batting kind of 2 for 2. Like, their games have been good. Well, 3 for 3 if you count the original Dishonored and other stuff Arcane's made. But they're going to be having a new project there. And then the Elder Scrolls Online are going to also be getting updates. So this is... These are, to me, the kind of the guaranteed stuff. Looking at the trailer, there's Doom Guy. And then you have Wolfenstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have BJ. You have the creepy crawly from Prey.
Of all people, like all the normal stuff. I think Bethesda is going
to have the elves, of course, because you have to have the elves.
Bethesda are going to be the safest. Beyond even Microsoft or anybody else, Bethesda is going to be super safe.
No, they're not. I don't think so. I think they're going to do this. You're going to get your next Elder Scroll game announced.
All right. If it's not on a new engine, don't show it.
But it's going to be on a new engine. I guess, I'm pre-jumping predictions, but yes, you're going to get a new Elder Scrolls on a new engine.
What you just heard, everybody, is how they actually steal a show.
Yeah, that's what you're going to get. Not only that, but you're going to get another Fallout game on another engine, because this isn't the only Fallout game they're going to make. They're making right now.
Especially if it's an online game.
Guarantee you this is going to be like either online or it's going to be kind of back to the old style of the original Fallout style, which I would mark the fuck out if 76 takes it back to the original turn-based RPG style.
What if there was 76 and then they pushed out like they did for New Vegas to get another studio to helm up another game like that on a new
They can. Remember, Obsidian's not doing anything right now.
Well, they just dropped Pillars of Eternity 2.
Yeah, but
they're that game's out.
I guarantee you they got a big enough studio. You just need a team to work on like building upon that. Guarantee you they can do it. They'll give them assets. Bethesda will give them assets. I guarantee you there's another Fallout game There's
I'm
a
not gonna say
Fallout proper that's going to get announced too. I think they're going to
I
announce.
don't think they're going to do both. I don't think they do both.
I think they are. I think they're going to kill people. They're going to make people.
If they do both, one of them is coming out this year.
Yeah, one is coming out this year.
And it would be Elder Scrolls.
Which is the Elder Scrolls, and then the Fallout will come out.
I don't know. I can't believe that.
I'm telling you, dude.
I give me more Dishonored stuff. I love that game.
Well, they probably are,
but they've already said Corvo and Emily are retired, so it would be something else set in the world.
Shit.
And I'm super interested to see what they would do with that world.
What's the name of the black chick that was in the DLC?
I did not play that DLC.
She's
the captain. Yeah. I just don't remember her name. One Hand, the person that worked with Dowd.
One Hand.
I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, that's Bethesda. Bethesda's harder than Bethesda's harder than EA and Microsoft because they aren't gonna have a lot of things that cross pollinate. They have a very kind of set script of things they could possibly talk about, and so I think that makes them a little bit easier.
Well, but here's the thing. I said next year for whatever between the Fallout and the Elder Scrolls, but they don't have to be next year. They could just make an announcement. I mean, they would get people hyped knowing that yes, we do actually have this has been worked on, and we have assets to show you. It is a thing, and then they could come 2020 with it, and people will still be fine. I would think they would just want to put it out in the air that one of these two things is coming this year or next year, and the other is coming soon after.
I could see next year.
But yeah, no, I definitely see that. I think 76 is going to end up being a late summer game.
Yeah.
For what it's being talked about being. Because it gives them it would be fine for me if it is an MMO because it gives you the alternative to Elder Scrolls Online. It's like now you could play both of our biggest worlds online with each other. Have fun. Choose whichever you want to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people would dig that. Rage 2, of course, is going to get its moment to shine. When is it coming out again? Or they didn't give a release date?
Say again?
Rage 2. Did they give a release date for that?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, okay. So that's probably something that's going to be this year.
I think Rage 2 is this year.
I think Rage 2 and Fallout 76 are
Elder Scrolls is next year.
Yeah. I think see Elder Scrolls, or you might get both next year. Shit. Because again, we're in a time now in gaming where major releases don't have to come out in the fall. You can do Elder Scrolls or whichever one is ready first in March, which would be good because everybody should look at Sony. Sony has been killing February, March, and April for the last few years with their releases. Why not put a big game out during there? if you're a third party as well, people will go buy it. We are now in a time where people,
Don't do that.
Yo, come on.
Don't do that.
You can't tell me that you wouldn't love to lead in, even though I'm not a Bethesda fan, but you wouldn't love to see a lead in of the next Elder Scrolls roll into, which is going to be another game in the summer that I'm not going to say what it is, but I predict that's going to come out next summer. I'm just teasing that prediction. People go nuts, and it's a big game. People go nuts.
Mm-mm.
It's perfect. It gives you perfect spacing. And then when you drop your Fallout, you'd be like, wow, you just got two amazing Bethesda experiences in 1 year. Plus, you're probably going to get a Doom announcement. So Doom's...
No, Bethesda, no. No, Bethesda. Bethesda cares too much. Cares more about money than actually on the bullshit. You can be mad at me saying that, but they have to prove me wrong.
I think this would be a year where they would feel comfortable making announcements.
If they did, your horses will still be walking up the side of walls.
No, I just think that they will make announcements. And I think I honestly think that they've spread out their studios enough
Okay.
Because there is an Elder Scrolls, there's a dedicated Elder Scrolls and a dedicated Fallout team. Then you have like with 76, you have outside studios work on, extra shit. They just acquired I forgot what studio they just acquired. Gosh, but they just acquired a studio not too long ago. I think the people who did they take Avalanche?
I think so.
I think Avalanche. So yeah, you have another major. If Avalanche is a Bethesda studio now, that means you got 2 or 3 more studios because Avalanche actually has 2 huge studios at least that works on separate projects. So there's that. You know what I mean? Avalanche could be working on another. It could shit. They wouldn't be a bad choice to work on that next Fallout.
Correct.
Yeah. So, they have options now. But this is, they can, go big this year and just put out announcements. And again, you don't have to show me anything. But if you announce some of your big titles, like, yeah, we are working on these, that sets it up for next year when everybody is like, okay, now we're going to see the grand premiere of whatever Elder Scrolls or Fallout game. And then you might also get a Doom teaser in there as well. I mean, they got weapons that they could use, and I think they're going to use them this year.
Yeah, look, I just don't believe it. Bethesda had Fallout 4, and then they fucked the modding community up. So I'm not gonna believe in them. I don't believe Black. Sorry.
It's fine. I think that's what we're gonna get, and I guess you don't have to ask me what I think is going to be the showstopper, because the showstopper for me would be they announce both Fallout,
basically the entire damn conference.
Yeah, they just fucking hit people over the head.
If they do what you said, 100% like you're not going to be able to argue with them just being like, "Hey, we just basically won 2019."
Yeah, basically, I think they're gonna show, unless like somebody else does something so monumentally like big that you just cannot ignore it. Yeah, that would kill it. And I actually think Bethesda is going to be probably the one to kill E3 this year, in my mind. That's just me right now.
They have the lowest expectations, I think. And so maybe EA has lower, but they have some of the lowest expectations, so they're the highest to gain. There's one conference that we'll talk about later that has a hell of a lineup that I think has an easier time winning the conference easily. But moving on to that bright Monday morning, for us it'll be early afternoon. We're going to end up getting into Square-Enix's conference. To go over what Square-Enix will probably have there. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which we already know is coming out in September. Crystal Dynamics has been working on an Avengers game. I would assume we see it now that Infinity War has fallen. Life is Strange sequel supposed to be coming out. Final Fantasy VII remake. Maybe some new content for the MMO Final Fantasy 14. And Dragon Quest Builders 2. Beyond that, there's a couple of other things. Oh, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3. Still not a real game. Still won't believe it's coming out until they give a release date. And I see it.
And that is my showstopper. They're going to give you a release date for 2018.
But that's not a fair... Like,
Bam!
That's not a showstopper. That's like 100%. I disagree. Like no more than like Shadow of the Colossus and no more than Last Guardian was a showstopper. Like, I think them giving a Final Fantasy VII remake release date would be a showstopper. Kingdom Hearts 3, everybody
want to be fucking shedding tears of joy when you see that.
Everybody thinks that. I am not getting overhyped about Kingdom Hearts 3 until I have it in my hands. I don't care if they give me a release date until I can physically play the fucking game. I refuse.
Oh, it's still on, right?
Yeah. For those that don't know, I was waiting for Last Guardian. Trust me when I say I know not to get my hopes up. If they pushed it back to 2019, I wouldn't be surprised. Early 2019, hopefully, but you never know. It's E3. Square-Enix, ugh. 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 Oh yeah, the Square-Enix Collective. It's weird. Like everybody, I think people, as a fan of the game, it's really hard for me to accept that the game is actually coming out. People don't get that I've been through two consoles, close to 3. I've played like 8 different consoles. I've bought the games 3 separate times. For you to really convince me that these games are coming out, you got to kind of do a lot.
Yeah, maybe. So, September 2018, Kingdom Hearts 3. We will revisit this. And like I said, the bet's still on. I will buy it if it's...
Find out next week if Black is going to buy me a copy of the game. He probably will be. In fact, he probably will be, chat.
It's fine. Put it this way. The thing is, if it doesn't come out in September, I got enough time to save up money to buy it for you. So, hey, good. I win either way. I either get to like fucking be a dick and, you know, brag about being right, or I don't have to buy the game immediately because it's going to take, you know, forever to come out. So, bam. I win. Anyway, but yeah, that's my thing. They're gonna do Kingdom Hearts 3 release date. I guess second showstopper would be you'll get a release date too for Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Final Fantasy 7 will be the showstopper. We will get. They will all of a sudden talk
about. Roman will cry again.
I think they will say because it's episodic. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, episode 1's coming out at this date," and people will be like, "All right, cool." And then I'm like, "You know what? All the episodes are coming out on that date," and that'll be
now that would be something if they say, well, we're not going to be, and it's no longer an episodic game.
Yeah, it won't be episodic. It's just going to release.
It's just going to give you a whole fucking game right now. Enjoy. Yeah, that would be cool. What else could they do though to pique people's interest? Is there anything else you think they could do?
I mean, Square-Enix has a couple other properties, but I don't expect them to bring anything else major out.
Yeah. I think that's it. They're gonna sit pat.
Yeah, they don't have a difficult conference, but they have an easy conference, and doing more would be difficult for them.
Yeah,
like it would make their lives far more difficult than it needs to be. Maybe another Hitman game.
Well, there is another Hitman game, right?
What do you mean?
Oh shit! You didn't see the tweet by them?
No.
I don't think it was Square. Whoever they gave it to, the studio they gave it to. Shit.
Whatever it is, yeah. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Oh, they put out a teaser. All right. Well, then another Hitman.
Yeah, no, they got it ready for pre-order now, sir.
Oh, then yeah, it'll be shown off then. All right.
Yeah, I mean they have the teaser. They put out a tweet, and you
can like the episodic game.
It looks like it is going to be.
Oh, showstopper! Final Fantasy Go. For your mobile devices like Tomb Raider Go and Hitman Go.
Okay, yeah, that'll stop the show, all right, because that'll make everybody stop watching.
I know. Square-Enix has an easy conference. Show off Kingdom Hearts 3, and I guarantee
Interactive. It's the name of the studio.
Everybody that watches this thing, show off Kingdom Hearts 3, and people will be.
That's nice. Okay, I didn't know who was publishing the game. By the way, the Hitman 2 is by, of course, IO is still doing it.
Okay,
and they're gonna get Warner Brothers to publish it.
Okay.
PC, Xbox One,
Kingdom Hearts 3,
and it's this year, by the way, November 13th.
You know your job.
Yeah. Yep, they're gonna get.
Then wait, if they're dropping that November 13th, if they drop Kingdom Hearts that and Tomb Raider this year, they better have a hell of a lot of big announcements for next year, like some other big.
Oh, remember this isn't a Square game, so you can't count it. Remember, they sold it to IO Interactive.
Okay. Sorry, I apologize. Yeah. All right. Next up would be Ubisoft. Grand scheme of things.
All right. Yeah. Anticipations for you?
Division 2.
I'm curious, but that's probably not anticipated, I guess. I'm more anticipating the Beyond Good and Evil thing because I'm curious as to how this is going to turn out.
You think I would love it if they just didn't acknowledge it after announcing it last year? Just still
I
like it
think
doesn't
that
exist.
they're honestly going to acknowledge it and maybe release. Like they said, they probably get some more new For Honor stuff since they're in the new season. New season of Rainbow Six Siege. You're gonna get the crew too, by the way. Just be ready for more crew. Probably get Steep too as well.
I mean,
And of course, Odyssey and
DLC
Assassin's Creed
for
Odyssey.
Infinity War based DLC for Fractured But Whole, where Cartman gets the Infinity Gauntlet, and you got to figure a way to defeat him.
That would be pretty interesting.
I feel like it writes itself.
It does. It actually does. This is the easiest. It's a layup. But yeah, I don't expect too much out of them. I mean, you're gonna get your Just Dance moment.
Who do you think they're bringing this year? I'm trying to think.
Cardi B.
Who's the big that?
They're gonna bring Cardi B. You know you would love to see Cardi B out there.
No, I don't need to see pregnant Cardi B dancing.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna twerk like she did at Coachella.
Let's not have that person's mother.
Too late now. He's already had himself shaken as his mom twerked in front of like hundreds, in front of millions. Those who were the hundreds of thousands of people who were probably like at the event and all those watching the stream. So he's already a star. It's fine. He or she, they're already a star.
Cool. So Ubisoft, please disappoint. Oh, whatever's going on with Siege and For Honor, your games, their services. Show us more of that. Oh yeah, I guess we didn't talk about the glaring one in the room, by the way, Black.
All right.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed, like I said, Assassin's Creed already been
announced.
It's
not been leaked.
Yeah, it's gone from being leaked to announced. So boom, there you have it. You're gonna see Odyssey. I still need to see more of the Leonidas kick in full. I need to see the whole trailer to see what set up that moment.
I need them just to tell the entire story while this dude's falling off a mountain. Like have him kicked and just have him slowly fall, and different clips from the gameplay. And like as it ends, like person wakes up in the real world and cut the Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah. I mean, they got my interest because it's Assassin's Creed. I'm a sucker for Assassin's Creed. So but I will say this, I'm more of a sucker this time because if it's in the same vein of Origins, then hell yeah, because Origins, again, the main story was cool, but the stuff that they have you do in the world, the life that they gave that world, oh my God, it was so great. And I just need more of those tales and all these those crazy shenanigans going up, especially since all the life in the world reacted on its own. So you could straight up legitimately roll up to like an alligator trying to eat a goddamn hippo. There's some crazy shit like that. So I wonder what in Greece is that compelling, because Egypt was great for that shit. You could see all types of wildlife just going nuts on each other or trying to go nuts on you or chasing down random people who are taking their vegetables from the farm and shit like that. So yeah.
It's Greece, not Rome. I don't know why I keep getting Greece and Rome confused.
Yeah, and they already technically they've already did Rome.
Brotherhood.
Modern Rome.
Yeah, but next up, we can keep this brief.
Oh, you don't have a showstopper for
what?
Ubisoft?
The Division 2 doesn't look as bad as people expect. I don't know. I think Fractured But Whole DLC would be a showstopper. Fractured But Whole Infinity, the Infinity Fart or some shit.
Okay, well, my showstopper is not only does they bring back Aisha Tyler, but they also bring back Jamie Kennedy to give you a double dose of fun.
Nah, they're not doing that.
That's the showstopper right there. No, I don't. They don't really have no showstopper. I mean, showstopper, I guess, would be release date for Beyond Good and Evil because that's the only
major thing
that they got that is an unknown. It wouldn't shock me if they told you when the Division came out, anything like that. But
Division is going to be mid next year.
Although I will say this, I do expect to see one new property from them because they always seem to want to drop one new property. Like last year was Skull and Bones,
Skull and Bones. I forgot about that. That's going to be the show.
And now this year,
they'll probably get a release date.
Yeah, they probably will. And then shit all over Sea of Thieves, and that'll be
two different games.
I know, but still, the internet's gonna,
the internet's gonna. If you're gonna compare some shit, internet Skull and Bones is compared to World of Warships. Don't fuck with the
No, they're
trying to compare.
I'm not comparing. I'm just saying people are going to do that.
No Man's Sky.
People are going to do that because pirate, and people just always make that big connect.
Yeah.
So
this guy's getting multiplayer, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next conference, I don't think Black. I'm gonna.
We can talk about the PC gaming show.
The next conference, I'm gonna make my hot take for this right here. It will be my favorite conference and the least favorite conference of everyone else watching.
So 6 p.m. This is where you just make sure to go get dinner.
No,
relax, chill out.
First off, if you would like very eclectic humor with a man that is equally as awkward as many of us nerds, please watch it because I believe Day 9 is also hosting it again this year.
Oh, that's his name. I couldn't think of his name.
Sean Day 9 Plot, sir. He was a famous StarCraft player who then became even more famous by playing, by doing his daily show, helping people get better at StarCraft, and has all gone on to become a very good online personality. He did it back when Blip TV was a thing. But yeah,
good for him.
Gaming show. Oculus Rift is supposed to be there. Stardock Entertainment. Tripwire Interactive. Tripwire, for those that don't know, is game that's zombie like. What the fuck is that? It's a 2.
Gosh.
It had a 2 in it. Killing Floor 2. Acer is supposed to do something, so peripherals, monitor, something, computer. Improbable, they're making a new battle royale game. Mavericks. Frontier, I forget what Frontier and Team 17 both have done.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you because I don't really have anything that I'm really anticipating or looking forward to, and I don't know what the showstopper for this could be. Although it would be interesting if Intel and AMD both. Well, Intel wouldn't.
So Intel
is an AMD thing. So,
thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, because we got. If you don't know, for you PC nerds, Intel announced a 28 core processor. The AMD say, "Bam, we better.
32.
We got 32."
Oh, but did you hear about the anniversary of the 8086?
No.
For the anniversary of the 8086, they're releasing 8,086 copies of the i7 8086. It's as campy as it could possibly sound.
That's funny. Especially since most of y'all probably don't even care about 86.
It's just and they're giving away. Well, they're giving away 8,086 of them as well.
Yeah. No. Well, good for you, Intel.
Yeah. It's a thing. So you're asking what would a showstopper be?
Yeah.
So how out there am I allowed to be here?
As out there as you want, especially for this.
It's a release date.
Oh yeah, now that you know what you just there. Goddamn. That will fucking be interesting if that actually got a fucking real release date. Holy shit. I didn't think that there was anything. But you
I love the fact because like the moment you were starting to ask me, I was like, what would like really fuck with you? I'm like, Star Citizen actually being done. And not just Star Marine. the like single player campaigns.
Yeah, no,
I mean like the full on
the
open
full
world
game.
shit.
Like here, this is what we've wanted to make. We're finished with it. Have at it. Bam. That would fucking like, yeah. That would actually that would be I would consider that the E3 moment of the year.
Oh,
for me.
whatever year it comes out,
And
you know it'll
not,
be.
no, I'm just saying, if they announce the release date, I don't care. That would be the biggest moment for me because, as far as I'm concerned, this game is never going to be completed.
I don't
like. I think Crackdown 4 will be out before this game.
Who's the Cloud Imperium Games? So they're gonna be there.
Yeah, no, Crackdown 4 will be out before. Hell,
oh my fucking lord! Square-Enix is on their list of presenters. Square-Enix, please bring Kingdom Hearts 3 to PC.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do that.
Square-Enix, please bring Kingdom Hearts 3 to PC. Do it for the culture.
What should be another Final Fantasy thing?
Oh, it'll be Final Fantasy 14 DLC.
No, it'll be Final Fantasy 13 remastered. Watch. They're gonna really.
If you could see my face. Wait, Double Fine? Why would you get Tim Schafer on? You know what?
Yay! Is he gonna finally complete? What's his name?
No, leave me alone. Hi-Res Studio. So for that new battle.
Oh my god! I just was watching somebody play that. Sir.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Sir.
Sega. There's a lot of things. Clay Entertainment. So a new Arma game. There's a lot of things out there that you can get. It should be a fun show. For anybody that's never watched the PC gaming show, if I'm being honest, don't.
Yeah, if you're looking for
if you've never watched it, just do not. To give you an idea of how much people are frustrated with the show, if you are in the Los Angeles area next week, tickets to the show are free. You just need to register in advance. Please understand, this is not a normal conference. It's a talk show.
Yeah. I think the best thing that came from the first one was looking in the audience and seeing all the content creators looking around like, what the fuck are we doing here?
And it's a
why'd you invite me to this?
It's a campy talk show as well.
Now, if you're a serious nerd and you like serious nerd humor, like
nerd
humor, and when I say serious nerd humor, I'm not talking about like the shit you see on the internet. I'm talking about like people making like things akin to programming show, something like that.
So this guy was a programmer and his wife came up to him and said, hey, go to the store and buy a gallon of milk, and if they have eggs, buy a dozen. He went to the store and he came back with 12 gallons of milk. She said, why'd you do that? They had eggs. Exactly. That's a programming joke. It's stupid. And there's shit like that you will hear. You will also hear a lot of, this is the most powerful graphics card we've ever released. It is pure on like Computex is going on right now. It would fit better at Computex than it would fit at.
Yeah, like you're going to hear about AMD's new shit. Just be prepared.
And this is coming from somebody that loves that shit. I always enjoy the PC gaming show, but it is because I am a computer nerd.
Yes.
So I tell people all the time, like, chill. That is your chance to get up from your computer if you have been sitting there all day. If you have been sitting at your computer
cook your dinner. You can have it on in the background. Feel free to fix food.
If you've been sitting there from 1 until 6 p.m., 6 p.m. is your chance to get up.
It's a perfect time for me to make some shrimp tacos.
Do a bunch of shit before 9 p.m. when Sony starts.
I'll probably be playing something on Sony, on PlayStation or on PC.
Now, when it comes to Sony, in my opinion, the easiest conference to win the show with.
Yeah, I honestly think people are going to get the whole customary Sony killed it thing. Because one, they're going to show gameplay of Death Stranding. That already in itself is.
Let's talk. February 22nd. They've already announced the release.
Yeah, they've already been killing it. They've been doing these weird 20-minute streams. Now, you may not like some of the stuff that they're showing these streams, but they're already announcing games and new games for all their platforms. and they gave a release date today. Like the previous day, they announced a new VR game, Tetris for VR. Today, and yeah, I know it's laughable, but it's like, hey, it's still shows it's important. It's a thing. It's something new. It's going to be different than what they had last year, because last year they had that pre-game, the pre-show where they made a shit ton of announcements. Now they're just doing it.
They were like significant announcements too.
Yeah, like fucking Guapamele 2. Like, yo,
oh shit, that is a thing.
Yeah, that was announced on that shit.
But let's go over it. So the major things that have already been confirmed. Death Stranding's going to be there. Yeah. Spider-Man's going to be there. Last of Us Part 2 is going to be there.
And
those three things. Ghost of Tsushima. Those that don't know that's from the people that made Infamous. So those are going to be their main points.
Yeah, no, real quick before you move on, let me tell you this. Y'all, everybody keeps saying that Sony's only going to show 4 games. Y'all know that's bullshit. Just because they said that those are the 4 focus games.
People don't get that. I'm gonna assume Sony has. Well, let's say Sony has a 2.5 hour, 3 hour conference. 2.5 hour. We'll say.
I think they're gonna keep it within the hour and a half. They're kind of like gotten into the mode of let's keep it as short as possible and not.
So let's say in an hour and a half. An hour and a half would give them about 10 minutes. We'll say 10 minutes for Last of Us 2, 10 minutes for Spider-Man, 10 minutes for Ghost of Tsushima, then stick Hideo Kojima at the end of the show and let him talk for like half an hour.
I so need them to lead off with that so I can get over it. I just need that to get off and go away.
Destiny 2 is going to have something probably at Sony's conference because of the exclusivity. Which I still can't wait because that means Microsoft's going with Anthem hard, which should hopefully be interesting.
Call of Duty I don't think they're going to get that type of weight though. I honestly don't.
Now, if we're going with the continued stuff, the leaks were talking about a lot of random shit. Diablo 4. And,
if they were to do that, though,
World of Warcraft PS4 edition. 2 things that are so far out there.
I would fucking scream if they were able to get exclusive, like, well, it probably wouldn't be exclusive, but if they were to announce the Blizzard shit on console, oh my God. Because those are the 2 games that would work.
Yeah.
On console. I mean,
Diablo 3.
If you never played Diablo 3 on console and you're sitting here laughing at me when I say that, Diablo 3 is actually a better experience on console than it is on PC. Think about that. They were able to take a point-and-click game and make it better suited for a goddamn controller. That shit was wild. That shit blew my fucking mind when I played that shit. I was not expecting that. So, yeah, don't laugh if they announce Diablo 4, because, yeah, that shit's good. Don't have to. But, what was the other leaks that they had?
Trust me when I say there's a bunch of shit that is not happening. Like, that E3 still lists as I kept saying, like, I would love for this to be real.
Hats off to the person who spent the time to meticulously create that, by the way. You did some good typing and editing.
Like, that would be dope as fuck if that was the list. But everybody know that ain't about to be the list.
No, it's not. But no, I don't think those are going to be the only 4 Sony exclusives that you're going to see. You're going to see some minor stuff, like trailer for Medieval. They're going to have some other stuff on here.
They're doing this sniper assassin thing again. Sorry, I just clicked on the Hitman thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sniper fucking ill. Sony's got it though. Like, give Spider-Man. Show off some of the non-main villains that you'll be able to fight in the game.
Yeah. Show up Black Cat.
No, don't do that.
We already know she's in it, so.
No, you don't. You don't know anything.
Yes, we do.
She's in it.
She's in it. She's gonna be side story. So.
You don't know anything. Oh, I just thought about it from Microsoft.
Huh?
Wow, this is top of my head from Microsoft. Alan Wake. Bring back Alan Wake.
What if Sony had
How many Remedy to not
What if Remedy decides, we're just not going to be exclusive to you anymore?
I'm gonna need Remedy to
It worked out with EA with Mass Effect. Fuck it.
And BioWare. What is it? 2K with BioShock.
Yeah. So fuck it. Yeah. It's gonna be multi-platform now.
Whatever. Just let Peter Molyneux get on stage and talk about how
Peter Molyneux doesn't need to be on stage for Microsoft unless they're gonna just see this man. I know
ignore
we hate
everything
him too.
he's about to
we
say.
hate him too. That's why we just wanted to bring him up here to embarrass him and tell him to get the fuck out of the game.
Wait, you like Tim Schafer, but not Peter Molyneux? I'm disrespected. At least Peter Molyneux's funny and entertaining and says really crazy shit. I feel like I wanted to make the greatest RPG of all time. You can actually have a kid with another player. You can get them pregnant. I don't know why I would want that to be a gameplay loop, but
yeah.
All right.
No, Tim Schafer's madness gets more respect from me only because historically speaking, when you compare the two, Tim Schafer has done better.
I'll be right back.
So that's my thing. Tim Schafer is just a better person, human being than Peter Molyneux. Peter Molyneux is one of gaming's biggest monsters. So therefore, that's why. But to continue on, while he runs and does what he has to do right now, Sony is still in this weird, perfect position where they just really don't have to do much. They honestly could get away with just spending 40 minutes talking about Ghost of Tsushima, The Last of Us 2, Spider-Man, and Death Stranding, and then say, okay, good night, everybody. And people would probably be satisfied because those are 4 major name exclusives that people are really, they're really looking for. And that would satisfy, especially with the Kojima thing. The Kojima thing is going to make everybody's heads flip. Anyway, bring Kojima out on stage, have him talk for about 5 minutes about his vision. Maybe even trot out Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus too to glom over him and tell everybody how much of a genius Hideo is and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And then show something significant. All they have to do, Sony really, is show something significant.
No, all they got to do is not fuck up.
For Death Stranding. No, I'm just saying, though, if just show something. People are way too accepting again, because I was just saying, Sony's in the position where they really don't, they can just show those 4 games if they really wanted to and just walk off the stage. Because those are 4 major games that people are excited about and would be satisfied. It's not like Sony has to present more. They are going to present more, but they honestly are in the position where they don't have to.
All right, Sony, look at me. Last time you hyped up a game and didn't show gameplay, we got a fun little game called No Man's Sky. Don't do that again.
No, they're going to show gameplay. Kojima's showing gameplay.
I mean, No Man's Sky had gameplay too.
No, I'm talking about actual real gameplay.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They didn't really show anything in that gameplay of No Man's Sky.
The second runner up though for easiest best conference or announcements, our friends from Japan, across the water, our friends Nintendo. If rumors are to be believed,
hold on, you want to skip over to Sony? Then you're done with Sony. You don't have any surprise.
Sony has the easiest conference. But
you don't have any surprise. Yeah, and I agree with you because they do. Their thing is a layup. They've already set the layup with
what did
the
they
4
do?
games
Okay,
show.
Surprise of the year. DLC for God of War, or Horizon Zero Dawn, or a new Killzone game. There's a lot of or a new Infam. There's a lot of things you could bring in.
Yeah, Sony's kind of.
But I feel like Sony's not gonna do that. They're gonna show their
chopping wood at this time. They don't really have to.
And if somebody was like, "Well, what makes you think that?" They're still sitting on Last of Us 2.
Yeah, no, like I said, they have already told you they're gonna focus on 4 big exclusives that are coming. They just announced another AAA game, which while people aren't that big on, hey, it's another AAA game that's out there that has a release date now. At that, you still have remakes coming that even though they're multi-platform, are probably gonna sell better on Sony with like Spyro and all that shit.
By the way, Last of Us Part 2 is coming out into next year.
No, but I'll tell you my prediction and why it's going to be right.
Stop thinking things are going to be this year.
No, I'm not. No, it's not going to be this year.
I'm going to fight you.
No, it's not going to be this year. It's not going to be this year. You're right about the next year thing, but I'm going to tell you why you're wrong at the time. Anyway,
like, calm down, young man.
Yeah, no, I don't think everything's coming out. Sony, I know Sony enough to know that Spider-Man is their fall game. Their secondary fall game is going to be either Medieval or they're just going to count the Spyro shit.
Ew, Medieval was also announced.
Yeah.
So, Black.
Yeah, it's going to be a small thing. It's not going to be a big...
in the face of some of the people that we know here on this platform, some of the we've collaborated with, do you think we get SOCOM at this year's E3?
Oh, you know that's going to be one of my wild predictions.
Really? They're actually predicting that. I
do it every year. The only reason I kind of do it is because I kind of do it to fuck with people mostly. But at the same time, I still think they're going to do it. I just don't know when. I'm not saying that they're not going to do it.
They're hiring at some major company.
Yeah. Yeah, although I feel like what they're going to do is like they're going to hype a shooter that they're bringing. And then it's going to be Siphon Filter, and people are going to be so fucking mad. I do too, but then people are going to be so, why can't we get our SOCOM? Oh my God, Sony, you're just horrible. You hate us. Calm down, because
I'm gonna go into some like deep shit. Like I want them to get on stage, man wearing a SOCOM shirt, and be like, "Guys, we're bringing
he got to come back with another SOCOM shirt."
Guys, we're bringing it back. And everybody's like, "What you've been asking for? The follow-up that has been needed, Legends of Dragoons 2," and just fucking.
Oh, by the way, you're probably gonna see
I would
what's
love
his name on stage too.
I would love it.
Shenmue. They're probably going to end up finally showing something with Shenmue.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, but okay, we can move on to Nintendo because, like,
I
agree.
My thing
Sony's just a layout.
Sony is like it's that same thing that Sony's been doing kind of since this generation has started.
The
guys at Bethesda won because they did the whole Fallout thing. So now people kind of expect Bethesda to do something outrageous. Beyond that, it's kind of Sony's to lose. Like last year, what they announced God of War 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
They announced Resident Evil 7 2 years ago, but that's a multi-plat. Like, sure, they can announce some surprising things, but they don't have to, and can still probably have one of the strongest, if not the strongest.
Yeah, like I said, show gameplay for Death Stranding. They already said they're showing gameplay for Spider-Man, so that's why.
Because if
you show Death Stranding and Last of Us 2 gameplay, you're done. You don't have to worry. Ghost of Tsushima could just be a fucking like art gallery session.
Shadows Die Twice as well. I don't know what that is, but because like what you have EA with Anthem is their big thing. Ubisoft with Division 2 gonna be their big thing. Microsoft with Halo is gonna be their big thing more than likely. Who am I missing?
Did you say Ubisoft yet?
Yeah, Ubisoft is gonna have Division 2. Bethesda is gonna probably be Fallout and Elder Scrolls of some combination. You have 4 games that can compete on levels with all of those.
Yep.
Like you came out saying like, hey, this game that everybody's been talking about since we signed Kojima, you're gonna see it. Hey, the biggest and best game we've probably released in the last console generation, that being Last of Us, its sequel, you're gonna see it. The Spider-Man, the biggest superhero pretty much period, especially among game players because of the demographic and the age group when they would have grown up. Gonna get a game from him. Oh, and to all you weebs out there, we're gonna have a Japanese game with samurai in it. All you and all the Eastern people, boom. All they have to do past that, it's like a padded conference.
Yeah.
It's like I have the lowest. It's not even I have high expectations. I'm just like, Sony will probably do a solid job because Sony.
Yeah, they like it's a layup. They can kill time. They can just sit on stage and just be like,
because
so how y'all doing? I'm just saying in between showing these things, they go like, all right, we'll give y'all about 5 minutes and let calm your breath down.
Do we want Hideo Kojima talking about how he went to lunch?
You know he's going to do that. That's why I was saying when you're gone, they're going to have him talk like for 5 minutes and probably bring out Norman Reedus. And
I'm saying, but do you want them to do They did the talk show thing last year.
I'm not saying they're going to do a talk show type thing. They're just going to have them on stage gushing about how great
probably
Kojima is, and then
that's a thing to work in the industry. You got to gush about how good Kojima is. But yeah, moving on to
Nintendo. Probably bring Jeff Keighley out to do it so he can suck him off some more. Jeez.
Nintendo is the best. Has the potential for the second best conference. Easy. Because they are the only people that have like a bunch of heavy hitters. So rumors. One of the consistent things with rumors have been Metroid Prime is getting another game in it. There's Smash, which they're gonna have a Smash tournament, as well. We're getting a new Pokemon game for Pokemon Go, Eevee and Pikachu. Right now, with those 3 games, your major franchises are already set. They're not gonna do Zelda. I think we got the last of the Zelda DLC last year. Mario, I don't think they do an Odyssey thing for it. They have Mario Tennis, which has been getting a great reception to it. Splatoon 2 is still a pretty big hit, so I don't think we get anything else there. Maybe some DLC. Bayonetta 3 still needs to be talked about by them.
Oh, yeah.
They have a conference that's like, hey, we have heavy hitters that people are going to be. Oh, we didn't even talk about what one of the rumors recently, because I think that might come out during the Sony conference. Because that's what the rumor has been. Devil May Cry 5. Because it has a registered URL now.
Yeah.
So that could be something. But beyond that, Nintendo has its own conference and stack where I'm like, there'll be something there that I want to watch and care about and pay attention to and has a lot of impact.
Yeah, it'll be short, sweet, and it'll be packed with a lot of stuff that you're like.
They might be the only people that Sony has to try to beat. If I'm being honest. Sony would have to like.
And I don't think Sony would be interested in quote unquote beating Nintendo because of their relationship as far as like rivals.
I 100% agree.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if I saw fucking what's his name? Their president. Oh gosh, I just totally blanked on his name.
Starts with M. That's
no, not
M-
him.
Starts with an M or a Y.
It's a Y.
That sounds really racist. I feel like with Japanese name.
No, it does.
You said Nintendo's president, right?
No, I'm talking about Sony. I'm talking about Sony.
Yusuke or something like that. Sony president.
Hyuhei Yoshida. I don't know why I blanked on his name. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him like make a presentation for Nintendo. You know, the love that.
Yoshida Kinshiro.
But no, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony's,
Kaz stepped down.
Was on stage.
Kaz did step down back in.
Kaz stepped down a long time
February.
ago. Kaz runs Sony. Period.
Yeah, but he stepped down back in February.
Oh, that's right. Maybe that's why the guy feels free to talk shit about the next generation because Kaz wouldn't allow that to happen. he would like shut the fuck up until we're ready. God damn it.
Andrew House stepped down too.
Yeah,
Andrew House. Forgot all these people were stepping. That made me forget how. Wow.
And it was just crazy, which shows you how strong they have, like with the people who run the game, because they still got some pretty strong.
Who's the guy that generally runs Sony's press conferences though?
Sean Layton.
Yeah, he's gonna be back.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He's my favorite part because he likes to troll the hell out of people.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's gonna come out with another SOCOM game and announce Siphon Filter. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
People are actually gonna try to kill this man if he does that.
He is. He's fucking gonna have a target on his back. But no, getting back to Nintendo. Nintendo is gonna be really, really good this year, especially since they're dropping some really good stuff for the Switch continually. Like I heard the Mario Tennis demo was fire.
Yeah, I've only heard good things about Mario Tennis.
You're gonna have the Smash tournament, by the way.
Which it's Smash. You don't need a tournament, but
they're gonna do a Smash tournament at E3, so that's already like got.
And they've already, for those out there, they've confirmed a combination of celebrities and Smash professional players. Zero, the like biggest name on Smash 4 for the longest time, was actually on stream earlier practicing for it. So people are taking it serious. Mewtwo King, a bunch of people that are really big names. Then what else is there? Metroid Prime has been the consistent rumor. And yeah. Bayonetta 3, we already know that exists. Like I'm so just out there now.
Yeah, Nintendo is probably
Star Fox Grand Prix.
Yeah, you have that rumor
possibly.
Too. Nintendo has definitely, like, if I were to have a second console, Nintendo would be the choice.
But Black, the best announcement. Well, there's two. So there's Dragon Ball FighterZ for the Switch.
Oh, shit.
But most of all, the game that is controlling the internet currently. Fortnite will be coming to Switch, which if I was going to play it mobile, fuck phones, I would play it on my Switch.
So one of my predictions I made in my video on my personal channel has just completely been squashed. It was already put in jeopardy by the early rumors, but now we have a confirmation, sir.
What?
Crackdown 3 won't be available until February 2019.
When did they announce that? Did they literally just announce it?
Yeah.
Microsoft confirms it?
Yeah.
What? Why did y'all just randomly confirm now? Our fans' response to Center Attic, to deliver, our fans' response to the signature antics and explosive gameplay of Crackdown 3 has been incredible. To ensure we deliver the experience they deserve, Crackdown 3 will launch February 19th. We look forward to sharing more on Crackdown 3 this Sunday at the Xbox E3 2018 briefing. So, Microsoft, show us gameplay. Significant
of gameplay. Have to have significant fucking gameplay at this point. You've pushed this game to as far as you could.
People believe this to be a launch title for the Xbox One.
It was slated as one. They touted it as one, or like a launch window game. They doesn't necessarily. Let's be fair. I
don't care. Like it's been. When did these consoles come out? 2013.
Yes.
It's been 5 years. You missed the window. You missed the house.
Technically, this would be 6 for that game because that game was one of the games they previewed during their. Well, it wasn't. It was one of the reasons I was telling. It was like early May.
It was one of the reasons.
Close to 6 years, yeah.
It was one of the reasons I've been arguing with people to say like, nah, the Xbox One back when it was coming out was like worth it because Crackdown was coming out to it, and Crackdown was a hell of a fun game. This is why y'all can't be waiting long. Like my, you know how much my life has changed since y'all released.
Okay, see, I didn't know this. I'm looking at this article. I didn't know this is what the development is. At least 3 UK studios have a hand in Crackdown's development.
No, it's development hell. It's actual
Sumo
hell.
Digital is best known for Sonic All-Star and All-Star Racing.
Oh, okay.
Made the campaign.
Huh?
Regent Games, whose
that's known
director Dave Jones co-founded the now defunct Real Time Worlds, maker of the first Crackdown game.
That's fine.
Refereeing games. Who made Crackdown 2?
Nope.
Are building both of them are building the competitive multiplayer for
Get them out. Competitive multiplayer.
I'm telling you what they said.
See that? All right, studios. Listen to me, not to other gamers, because other gamers, they get you in trouble. If something works, iterate on it. Don't change it. Don't throw some random shit in there. If you have learned nothing from Call of Duty and other game development, iteration is fine. Graphics are fine to update on slightly.
See, what has me fucked up about this is that it's one thing to have multiple studios working on a game. Usually you see that. Like EA had multiple studios working on games before for them. Ubisoft is famous for having multiple studios, especially in the Assassin's Creed series and with the Division. Think about those are that they're multiple in-house studios.
Mhm.
They're their own personal assets that they draw on to help. These are 3 independent studios
separate studios
that you're asking to come together in between whatever projects they're working for on independently.
It's not even like you were like, hey, when the original developers of Crackdown went down, most of their development team split between these 3 studios, so we're bringing them back together. It's like just straight up like, hey, we just grabbed 3 people that were available.
Yeah, like I could see if they were like, the people who make Halo, the people who make Forza, and the people who make Gears are all going to make this game. Okay, fine. No, this is
but Coalition's working on a new Gears game. We know there's a new Halo game. Like Microsoft feels like they're setting Crackdown up to be like a C movie game, not even a B movie, but like a C movie game.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up being the joke that people make when they talk about when we look back at,
which is sad because it used to be one of the games where it was like, yeah, I brought this for the Halo 3 beta.
It was a sleeper hit.
It was a cool, really cool, good game. Then Crackdown 2 we don't talk about Crackdown 2 because it removed a lot of the good parts of the first one, but it still had some good qualities.
I know they had a sleeper hit on their hand, a sleeper hit franchise that they didn't expect. And now it looks like this shit's falling apart. That's fucking sad, yo.
Like, and then so to those out there that wonder why the game's taking so long, it's shit like that. Trying to coordinate 3 different studios
that are not your own assets. That's the thing that bothers me the most. Different if you have 3 in-house studios. You got 3 mercenaries trying to put together one game.
When people talk about like Ubisoft games. Yeah, Ubisoft Montreal makes Assassin's Creed, but they have like 8 studios around the fucking world helping them, but they're all Ubisoft.
Yeah, so they share everything, tools, all that.
So think of it like one giant network, and they're all pulling from the same pool. This is 3 separate networks that you're trying to create something out of, like connecting them. And there's a chance it could be good, but if the indication is 6 years later, we still don't know. And the last game that came out that they announced around this time, Black, that hasn't released, what happened to Scalebound?
Yeah.
It does not bode well for this fucking game that it is still in development. It's being delayed. What's that? 8 more months? So almost another year. And to think that what Microsoft has just announced, even worse, is this is the game they're going to put up against Days Gone.
Yeah, and it's funny because Days Gone doesn't get a lot of attention and a lot of...
But it will get like if it comes out against Crackdown, it's going to become a console war conversation. Which game for which console is more worth it? Whether or not that's the right thing. You got to, like, to people out there that are like, yo, that's not the right thing. You got to be able to read the storylines before they happen.
They may have just helped Days Gone.
That's the storyline. Because look, Black, think of it as like a score. Let's go to scores. I know you and I both aren't the biggest fan of scores. But if Crackdown 70
I need to grab this out of my...
all right, yeah. If Crackdown is a 60 or a 70, and then Days Gone is a 75, 80, all of a sudden it's a different conversation. Completely different conversation. That is where I have an issue. Is Microsoft, as somebody that's a fan of Crackdown, it feels like Microsoft is sending it out to die.
Yeah, and again, I know people can say, well, gee, games take 5 years all the time. I realize that this is going to be close to 6 years since it was announced, not since it started development. This game had to have been... This game actually, when you think about it, the way that they touted it for the Xbox One, had to be one of the test games when they were developing the console. Because again, this game was supposed to highlight to you what's so amazing about always having an always connected Xbox One at the time.
That also fucked up the development of the game. Because they probably had to go back to square one because now they're pushing harder hardware and not this online connectivity. Building a game for the cloud versus building it for hardware can result in two very different approaches.
Yeah. Damn. Well, I guess we now have the E3 showstopper with today Microsoft's fucking announcement of the delay after the rumors leaked earlier that Crackdown 3 would be delayed. Microsoft has now officially delayed Crackdown 3.
Like, I don't think people realize, like, I don't get on Microsoft, but Microsoft, low-key, I hope the rumors are real now. That you're announcing both a Gears and a fucking Halo game in the same year.
They got to do something to build up the hype again. It's, again, the story of Microsoft in this generation has been like Sony's story in last generation was a story of catch up, but it was more like Sony's biggest mistake was hubris,
charging $600
with price. They never necessarily missed a beat once they started getting the games rolling because you kind of expected the software, but it was like their whole thing was we had a ridiculous price and we had a hard to develop on platform that made third parties want to deal more with Microsoft than us. And that was the thing, but they never that was it. They were able to recover and eventually basically get back to where it was the even playing field because despite that, they still had a good game plan with their console content.
And I want to make this point to people. Remember, this is their PlayStation 3. Literally, like it's their third console.
I keep thinking this is their fucking Sega. What was the last Sega thing that came up before the Dreamcast that they dropped right in the middle of nowhere? I think this is the Sega Saturn.
Was it the Saturn or what was the one? Saturn and
it was a Saturn, the 32-bit thing. I think.
What was the one before the Saturn? I had a Sega Saturn. I'm pretty sure. No,
then.
What was it? It was a Saturn.
Probably the 32X thing that they added to the Genesis that you can play 32-bit games.
Or Sega Genesis and Sega Saturn.
Yeah, but the Saturn was the one where they announced at E3 and said, "Oh, it's going to be out in like
that same day."
Something.
One of them they announced something
crazy. Yeah, it was out. Yeah, that was it. That was the one that came out at E3, and then they never recovered. Even though Dreamcast was a good console, they couldn't recover from that because of all the bullshit they did with the fucking Saturn. And I feel like Microsoft is close to tipping this to being their Saturn with the way that they're doing their content. Like I already felt that way with all these iterations of the console to begin with and all these weird price drops and changes and modifications and packages. But it's like with their content, it's like, yo, like what's lurking out there right now? Like for this year, if we want to like compare platforms, you know, not to be doing the console war thing, but it is a significant thing that you do have the right product to entertain people. Whereas like you look at Nintendo, we just said like all the shit that they're going to be talking about in their E3. They already still have Zelda, which is still persisting. Mario Odyssey came out late last year and is still doing well. They just came out with the Donkey Kong Freeze remake that people are high on. You're going to get
you're getting Smash and Pokemon next year, which is big enough. That's all you need for Nintendo to be fine. They have a Smash and a Pokemon game coming.
Now shift to Sony.
Days Gone, Death Stranding, Spider-Man, Last of Us Part 2. And whatever sequels, because if they bring out DLC for God of War, if they want to do some more, like another older exclusive that maybe we haven't seen before, like they have the extra stuff that they could just pull. They have little rabbits they could pull out without ever having to like.
Just really quick, I need to run outside real quick, so
you're fine.
Keep going because I have thoughts on that too. Because just go over the list of the stuff that their competition, including PC, has to offer before you get to Microsoft.
Before I get to Microsoft, all right.
Yeah. So be right back.
All right, if we're going to Bethesda could do any, like, we already getting Rage 2, but you're talking Elder Scrolls games, you're talking Fallout games, you're talking even both like new and old properties, you're talking Elder Scrolls Online, you're talking so many things that they could actually go back and do. There's rumors of a Morrowind remaster. So many things in their back pocket. Ubisoft has the games they really wanted to pull out, like Assassin's Creed's coming out. Ubisoft, I think, is a little bit lighter than everybody else, but they still have some franchises. I can't think off the top of my head of an old Ubisoft franchise we haven't seen recently. Far Cry could get something. There's already got a bunch of DLC coming out. EA, Mirror's Edge, Mass Effect are two things they could pull out if they really wanted to do something. We talked about Dead Space being something they could pull out. There's a lot of different games that these other companies have. I mean, on PC, you have the Star Citizens. You have Fortnite, which is massive, which is probably going to have some type of an announcement there. You have, what else beyond Fortnite? You have any of the early access game, the big battle royale craze, which is gonna be a thing now. You have Warframe, which is continuing to grow. Rainbow Six Siege is another thing for Ubisoft that they have made bank off of. There are so many games that can continue to come out that will continue to hit hard, that will continue to have a place for gamers. I mean, Hitman can be out there. All of these games could drop and in their own right hold their own. Path of Exile is another PC game. Like, I'm just going through my Steam library right now looking at games. They're like, yo, Dead Cells getting another update. Brawlhalla could get something. Games that have had years of standing. Ark Survival supposed to be dropping on mobile consoles, I believe, here in the near future. There's a lot of things that Microsoft has to deal with. Like, they are no longer in a space where it's just the big three. It's more like a stage where everybody and anybody can come to the table and straight up put up a fight. And not even in like a small fight, as in we're on Origin, so you can only buy EA games here. We're on Uplay, you can only buy Ubisoft games here. You're on Steam. Like, Steam announces Left 4 Dead 3. What's Microsoft gonna do? Like, we don't even need to talk about the Half-Lives and all the jokes, right? And my phone is now going off for some odd reason. I don't know why. I'm hoping my brother is grabbing the things. But yeah, like, you kind of heard literally everything that can be done at this point. It's kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous how much they have to like deal with. And to think that they don't have anything to like stop them, to bolster them, to keep them in a position where they are super successful is frustrating to me. As my phone goes off, and like, I'm trying to buy as much time because hopefully Black walks back in. Yeah. Ultimately, I think I'm not even considering. Like, we didn't talk about Kingdom Hearts. We didn't talk about the things that we know of. They could announce another Final Fantasy game. There could be more fighting games that are coming out. DLC for different fighting games that would easily be able to tell us. Hello? What the hell is my phone doing? I'm gonna fight my phone. Chat, I'm sorry. Black, I'm sorry. It happened. I'm sorry. But ultimately, the gaming space is kind of ridiculous. Like, Microsoft doesn't have the luxury to be slow and to figure it out. Their luxuries, they have to learn on the job. They have to toss games out there. They have to see what is or isn't happening and what is or isn't working, and push past it. Ori is a great choice. Ori is an amazing platformer, but Ori can't always stand up to the Last of Us 2s. Ori can't stand up to the Kingdom Hearts 3s. Ori can't stand up to the Division 2s and even the off games, the Skulls and Bones. I think Ori is a great game that has an amazing development cycle, but it's also an indie game that people aren't going to accept by it in it by itself, right? With nothing else to bolster it. It's something that I don't know how well I can deal with. How well I can easily say there isn't anything to get to that they can't grow with. That there's no way that Microsoft can grow. I'm really nervous because in a situation where shooters are not the only thing dominating, especially when it comes to battle royale, like a very specific type of shooter is dominating, not even just shooters. If you don't have something to push people to come to your console.
Oh, sorry for being so unprofessional, but you're an eloquent person, so I'm sure you held your own.
I don't see how Microsoft, like, I did everybody that I can think of, and I know I missed a lot of stuff. There's so many games out there that I can't think of that I'm just worried for the state of Microsoft. They don't have the chance to figure it out. They have to start learning quick.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. We've sat here and spent the majority of the time talking about these different things. You were able to hold a podcast on your own for what? How long was that gone? Like 3-5 minutes, maybe. And you're able to like hold a podcast on your own on content from other people. Now, of course, some of the stuff like the third-party people, they're going to be on Microsoft platform. So if you're an Xbox owner, you're going to get this stuff.
I was getting at that. Like, they have stuff like Ori, but Ori doesn't stand up against a lot of even the B-list stuff from some of these companies, because there are going to be people that are going to look at it and say, oh, that's just a small indie game. I'm not going to fuck with it.
And see, Nintendo and Sony have stuff left in the tank that they can pull out.
Exactly.
We talked about stuff that hasn't been announced that people are pining to get in their hands, that they can revisit, that they own, properties that they own that can come back and just be game with. Hell, this year is an example. They brought back a property people thought might be done after Ascension and resurrected it in God of War. Now this game is pegged to be in the Game of the Year conversation. They had a Game of the Year game already. They still haven't released all of their entire.
I just want that to be even understood. They released a God of War game, a mascot of their platform, in March.
Yeah. And so far, it's probably the best game.
And it is still being held up as the best game that came out this year.
I mean, it's like, look, hell, say what you will about David Cage and his games. Detroit's a pretty decent game. I would take that over a lot of the stuff like Microsoft has put out this year alone. In comparison to State of Decay and Sea of Thieves. That you can say is better, in some cases. Like even Sony's B-list stuff beats Microsoft's B-list stuff. Or like Nintendo, your Mario Tennis is about to kill. Yep. And again, it's gonna be that's not even the hypest shit they're coming out with this year. But people are fucking losing their shit over that demo for Mario Tennis.
I want people to understand, like Microsoft. If you're not dropping Halo or Gears, can you do what Nintendo did by just showing the logo of a series?
Shit, last year with the Metroid shit. They showed like, yeah, we're making a Metroid Prime, and everybody went nuts. What logo does Microsoft got that they could put up now that people would get nuts?
It's a Halo, like the Halo ring, the Gears chainsaw. What other like Alan Wake would be a dope thing they could bring back that they kind of need to.
Yeah.
They lost the Mass Effects, they lost the BioShocks. They need, and that was the thing. Back on the 360, they had Mass Effect 1, they had BioShock, they had games that like were super interesting that dragged you in.
Yeah.
They need more of those. And only way you're gonna do it is by taking risks with people that you can trust. Don't just cancel Scalebound. Find somebody that can do the job right. And if Platinum couldn't do it right, why were you green lighting it anyway?
Yeah. Or just make it, because people would respect that. I mean, say what you will, like with the No Man's Sky thing. Say what you will about that, but Sony still kept their promise. They put it out.
Yeah.
They took that L, and Sony can do that because they're willing to do that, and they had willing to do it on so many things that they could take an L. Because again, when did No Man's Sky come out?
I don't even remember. That
I think 2016.
Yeah.
The same year that what came out in 2016? Was it Uncharted or was it Horizon? That came out in 2016.
Horizon
I
came
think
out
it was Uncharted. Yeah, so Uncharted came out in 2016. So yeah, I could take that L when I got an Uncharted sitting there. Oh yeah, and I also just brought you the Last Guardian finally too. So I could take that L too, as well as that. Yeah.
And then they followed up with Shadow of the Colossus this year, one of their biggest games. They just remastered it.
And it was like, oh, by the way, we have Horizon coming in the early part of 2017. So
that was next to Neo.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, exactly. They're like, we can eat this.
Oh wait, before they were also the people that announced Resident Evil 7 and had the VR.
Didn't Bloodborne come out in 2016 too?
Bloodborne came out.
Was it 15 or 16?
No, because 16 I think was D3.
Okay.
16 I think was Dark Souls 3, so it would have been 15.
Okay.
15 or 14, I want to say 15.
Yeah, but no, we just named a bunch of content that they had, like where, yeah, you could clown them all you want for No Man's Sky, but they kept chugging along. They kept bringing you stuff. They took, not only were they bringing you things, they took chances. People could have buried Neo as just a Dark Souls wannabe, but Neo ended up being a unique experience that people loved. You know what I mean? So take chances. I really they really had me hooked in 2013 when they were like, we got these 14 studios coming out with all these crazy looking games. Yeah, people moaned about stuff like D4 and all that, but I was like, I'm really impressed. You have a diverse library.
Exactly.
And somebody is going to buy this. Just because the loud minority wants to scream about what type of shit is this, you're going to get somebody. And you've proven that you can get people to buy something that's not traditional by doing Ori, getting Cuphead, and things like that. So why don't you keep doing that? But anyway, let's get into our predictions. I want you to make 3 predictions and then one really crazy one.
All right, 3
sensible predictions and then one crazy
one. I think the easy one I'll take right off the top is Sony's going to have probably the most memorable conference out of anybody, just from the amount of stuff they're going to show. 2, Kingdom Hearts will actually, all joking aside, Kingdom Hearts will actually get a release date. That'll be this year, probably in holiday season. And 3, as much as it might seem like an outlandish thing, The Division 2 and Anthem will both launch before the end of the fiscal year, which is March of 2019. Really? To compete with Destiny. Yeah, both of those games will come out within enough time to compete with Destiny. One of them will come out to compete with Destiny in September. But within, and I will bet that'd be Anthem if I had to guess. But those are going to be my big things. And then the outlandish one. The outlandish one would be Microsoft announces a new Halo game that drops this fall. with a new version of the Xbox One, like Xbox One X Slim.
Yeah, that would be crazy if they do that. If they do that, I'm just gonna like moan because I'm like, how many versions of your goddamn console are you gonna make this year, this generation? Jeez. All right. So my 3 predictions. All right. So first, I'm gonna start with the thing where I said that you're gonna be slightly wrong on, which is The Last of Us release date. You're right. It's gonna be 2019, but it's gonna be released a week and a half to 2 weeks before next year's E3. Reason why I think that's a guarantee. When did The Last of Us come out?
Fuck.
Came out in June, sir. A week and a half before E3. So I think they're gonna do that again.
On June
Yeah, it did.
14th, 2013.
Uh-huh. Right before E3. It was actually less than that, a week now that I think of it. It was actually the weekend before E3.
I should have known it was summer. I was working then.
So yeah, no, they're gonna do it again with The Last of Us. So Last of Us is next summer. I think that you are going to get, like you said, the release date for Kingdom Hearts, and it's going to be this year. And for my third easy prediction, Sony's going to introduce a new new first party game that we weren't expecting.
I'm mad that's such an easy thing for Sony though, because they've done it so consistent.
They did it every year. It's just about
Horizon.
Horizon, The Last of Us, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima.
They're good. Ghost of Tsushima will be somehow like will steal a show, like steal part of Sony's show somehow.
Yeah. All right. So the outlandish predictions, I think I've already made them throughout the show, being that you are going to get a announcement of Bethesda's big 3 games this year on stage.
That would actually be insane.
And of course, my traditional outlandish is that there will be a SOCOM announcement, because I have to stick with it. They're going to announce SOCOM. Every conference that Sony's at, I'm going to say they're going to announce SOCOM.
You're like me in Last Guardian. Whenever somebody used to be like, "What's your outlandish?" Last Guardian is getting a release date.
Yep.
It was going to happen. They're either going to cancel it or give it a release date, and they haven't canceled it this so long. So
yes, SOCOM. And I'll even double down on that. Not only are they going to announce SOCOM, but they're going to lead with it, and they're going to lead with gameplay. Bam! How about that?
You went from like
I'm insane.
Look, you went for swinging from a home run to swinging over the green wall, like as a rookie.
I'm trying to hit it all the way out into the parking lot and beyond, sir.
You asking for a steroid accusation?
Yes, I am.
You got that right. You would
deal with it. But okay, so just to really quick before we end, to lock this down, what's our schedule going to be like? So do you want to do like a brief thing after each show, or do you want to just do the whole day thing?
Probably do a. That's up to you.
Because that's the beauty of this year, and the beauty and the curse is that everything's so spread out. So it's going to be a weird day for like Monday. Is going to be a weird day for me because now that there's no conference until 1 p.m., I can take my trip to the DMV like I'm supposed to. I didn't waste hours in the DMV for half my day off.
I think we could it would be probably better to do day stuff, because we'll probably still end up talking for like an hour or two if we do it.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there are gaps, but yeah, it's
because rather than
I'll say this though, the only thing I would want to do individual things on would be the major thing. I will do an individual one on Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, and yes, I will be willing to do an individual show on the PC gaming.
No,
show.
That can be tossed into something else. Not.
I can let you wax poetic.
No, like I don't want to wax poetic.
Okay, so yeah, we'll consolidate these minor shows, quote unquote,
which will be
EA, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Square.
So that would mean you're
PC.
saying Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday we have a show for each one.
Yeah.
So Sunday, I guess.
I think with Wednesday probably kind of being too split.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, because Sunday is when Microsoft goes.
Yeah.
Monday is Sony, and then Tuesday would be.
Yeah, that would make sense because there's no sense in doing anything on Saturday for EA.
Yeah.
Cool. So there you have it. So there's how we're going to schedule out the shows. So look forward to those.
Yep.
So we'll be less tired and less exasperated because that live streaming that shit. Oh man.
I will probably still be covering the shows live.
Yeah, and I'll probably pop in if you are here and there.
I realize that like if I'm gonna watch it, I'm probably gonna turn on my
like I could watch it with the crowd. Yeah, you know, hell, this might be where you guys get me back on Twitch for a short period of time. I know. Oh shit, now.
Suck it. It's the 90s.
But
yeah. It's gamer Christmas, and for content creators, you might call it the Christmas from hell. Because man, is it about to be a lot of information and a very gameplay everywhere.
Yeah, because I know on top of us doing this stuff, I'm going to be doing my separate things. So. Whew.
That'll give you a little bit more time, to do that too.
Yeah, but the worst is going to be y'all seeing me. That's going to be my Twitch return. Is me IRL at the Maryland DMV. That'll be entertaining.
No, that's like hell.
Fucking mine on camera. It's all good. It's all good though. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, listening. By the way, I am at the point where these shows are now going to be up on the Podbean feed. So look out for that link to drop soon, along with the rest of the stuff. I have secured the Podbean for a year, so I have unlimited uploads.
Hey, I see you.
Yeah.
Podbean, peepers.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Do what he says.
Is. I just.
Oh, you don't know what Podbean is? Think SoundCloud, but something just
podcast.
Dedicated to podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really cool platform. So yeah. So yeah. Boom. That's it. So thank you again. Appreciate it. And we will see you after all these crazy conferences with our reactions, people. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll at you later. Peace.
Peace.